Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the fucking hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And fuck all the doubters, they're just fucking downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off. my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, if I want it, gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pay stub, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh, fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up, play the game, bruh. Never stop, don't get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah. You know I'm always honest, there ain't no way I'm ever stopping. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, I'm always flirting with pain, she like to hurt me and maim. I'm always working to change, but she's still lurking the same. I keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me. But they hate from inside, you see, hate themselves in society. So I let them speak quietly while my actions speak wider. See, they be hiding in privacy with the screen, oh the irony. To hate someone who's trying to be whatever they would like to be. We all feel the anxiety, we make our own rivalries. Yo, so where is all the positivity? I feel like we all just hate on everything, it's killing me. Thoughts build quick, causing different possibilities. Negative thoughts will cause different disabilities. So do better, work hard under pressure. If you got no time, work smarter than ever. Don't ever let them tell you that you can't never say never. And turn your mind into the truest of go-getters. Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah. You know I'm always honest, there ain't no way I'm ever stopping. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when low, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They're deceived with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah.
Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily spreading like a rare disease, but I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you see greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim.
I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Flashing red lights, driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we're making tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight. Yeah. I'll do anything that I feel like I wanna do. I'm living life like I got nothing left to prove. No end in sight, just always staying on the move. I'll go all night if that's just what I gotta do. Life's too short to care about what you can't afford. Memories are in what you explore, so just don't be ignored. Go ask for more, go ask for more. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? I'm in a race that everybody's chasing fast. They wanna be that someone on the screen at last. They ain't looking inside for their needs in life. They wanna be liked by everybody in sight. But trust me, being free ain't spotlights. No, it's long nights and it's long fights with yourself all the time to get your mind right. But if you put in the work, you can find the light, alright. I'll do anything that I feel like I wanna do.
I'm living life like I got nothing left to prove. No end in sight, just always staying on the move. I'll go all night if that's just what I gotta do. Life's too short to care about what you can't afford. Memories are in what you explore, so just don't be ignored. Go ask for more, go ask for more. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? I'll just breathe in. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? I'll just breathe in. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet
Cause I
next
don't
to
give
me.
a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta
I
start
don't
them through
give a
the
fuck
sewer.
what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys. Happy Friday, May 17th. You made it to the weekend. Let me know if you can hear me okay in the chat. And I am going to go ahead without further ado and bring in Mediocre. Let me get him from the back room here. Hope you all had a great week. Hope you got some good plans for the weekend. Let's bring in that old monkey tamer. Where's he at? All right. Like he is AFK for a second. We'll get him on in just 1 minute. So we're going to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. So crack a cold one, pop a smoke, whatever you want to do to get your weekend started. There he is. What's up, Mediocre?
Sorry about that. I was grabbing a beer. I heard you. I'm like, oh, man.
That's all right. We're going to talk about the GameStop stuff. I put out a video going over it at a high level this morning, but I'm sure people, some didn't see that. And there's probably just a lot of questions. So we'll talk about that and just trading in general this week and whatever else y'all want to talk about. People were already asking about Barnes & Noble in the chat while we were waiting for the live stream to start up. Apparently, I don't know, but apparently it has 70% short interest. So what I always say on these high short interest plays is, number one, if they're highly shorted, like 70%, if that's the case, make sure you understand why it's being shorted. What are they seeing? What are they seeing? Is there dilution upcoming? Is there debt that is coming due? Is the company running low on cash? What is the problem? And then once if you don't care about that, if you just want to roll the dice and say, I love short squeezes and I don't care about the financials, then of course, do whatever you want. But Mediocre, you know how I feel after the last 3 years of talking with retail traders in all of these plays. People get into short squeezes and they go from becoming a short squeeze speculator to a long-term investor.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they get mad. They get mad because they say, well, I didn't know this and I didn't know that. And the CEO did this. And The market's rigged. I would say if you're in a short squeeze play, have a timeline, have an exit point no matter what. If it doesn't go your way, get out. And if you plan on being in it more than 48 hours, spend an hour digging through the financials and figure out why it's being shorted. Then you can make a more informed decision.
That's right. I think that's the most important thing you could take from that is you gotta get the information, because I know some may not care. Like, I watched a video earlier. I'll just tell you, and they're talking about a guy who didn't care about people. They were just entering, and it wasn't about the money. I guess some people are that way, Tony. I don't know.
I have no problem with that. I mean, we momentum trade a lot of different stocks, but I mean, I think we are pretty diligent for the most part on knowing what our entry and exits are, making sure we get a really good entry, and before we even get in, we're thinking about what is our conditions for getting out,
right?
Good or bad? What is our conditions for getting out? And I see way too many people, and I'm not going to go down the list of tickers over the last 3 years where they become what I call unintentional long-term investors, and they almost always end up getting wrecked and depressed or angry or bitter, looking for someone else to blame when they should have just done the upfront homework or had an exit plan that would get them out the second it turned bad.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I heard a few people got hurt. I'm not sure how true it is, but I don't want to bring up their names really, but some big people got hurt, I think, in this. I'm not sure.
In what, Barnes and Noble?
No, in the GameStop.
Oh, the GameStop. Okay. I'm going to pull up the screen here for GameStop just so I have it at the ready in case we need to look at it. The filings that came out today. Make sure I have the audio off on that so we don't get an echo. So there were 4 filings. There was a shelf registration. That's just the company notifying the SEC, hey, whatever we have in our outstanding float that's not already issued, if it's an unlimited shelf, I didn't even look at this shelf, but like AMC has an unlimited shelf, they can dilute up to the maximum of the float. Let's just pretend that GameStop's is an unlimited shelf. They have a authorized shares of 1 billion. So theoretically, in an unlimited shelf, you could issue up to 700 million shares. But we got on top of this, we got a prospectus 424B5 saying that right now they're going to try and sell 45 million shares. So not 700 million. You don't need to worry about that. I saw the trolls on social media saying they're going to dilute you 1 billion shares. No. Hang on one second. They're probably around the side of the house, baby. Did you check the gate? Is it closed? Okay. Then they're fine. She said, all the animals are gone in the backyard, mediocre.
Oh, man. They okay?
I don't know. They go around the sides of the house, and you know how it is. She's probably not. I just fed everybody before we came on live stream. They were out there, all of them, 30 minutes ago.
Send her out there with the broom. They'll get them back.
The prospectus was for 45 million shares, which if GameStop is, if the price holds at $20 range, that's, almost $1 billion. So that is a very healthy addition to the balance sheet if they're able to do that. Of course, I see all the usual comments, and mediocre, you and I have talked about this many times on many different tickers. As soon as a prospectus comes out, what is the normal reaction from retail traders?
That they stopped the squeeze. The CEO did it again and stopped the squeeze.
There is that, but what's the normal self-defense mechanism reaction? they're not really going to sell.
Yeah,
they're
that's
just
yeah.
they're just
that's-
filing that just in case.
How do I say this? They say stuff like that's for future dilution.
Yeah, it's just in case. Guys, we've seen this. We've seen this over and over and over and over. And when a company has a big run up like this, they are going to capitalize on it right now.
100%.
They are going to capitalize on it right now. You're going to get an update in the next filing, whether it's a proxy or another prospectus or a 10Q. Huh? She found them mediocre. You're going to get an update with an updated share count at some point in the near future, and it's going to be up 45 million shares. Now, they have the shelf just in case. The shelf will cover them for 3 years. All they got to do is just drop another prospectus on the next run up, whether that's a month from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. The shelf is there. Boom, drop a prospectus, and you're ready to go. But yeah, I fully expect them to be diluting starting today and into next week. And I think it'd be foolish to think otherwise. Sparky says, are they late? AMC to the credit went and took a hit. GME took a couple days. Here's what I think about that, Sparky. GameStop's 10K date was March 26th. And their prospectus was May 17th. So that's almost 2 months. AMC had a 10Q on May 8th. And the prospectus was basically right away, right? They didn't even they didn't even do a prospectus. They just did a private, what do you call it? A private issuance. Equity.
Yeah.
It was a private negotiated transaction. So here's the thing. When a company issues a prospectus, often they want to do it right after a 10Q. GameStop was 2 months already almost past their 10Q, past their 10K. And the sales agent, the people that are responsible for that prospectus, also have a obligation. You can go look this stuff up. It's called prospectus due diligence. They have an obligation to make sure that the financials and the fundamentals and the forecasts are accurate, that are in the forecast before they start selling those shares into the market. And if it's 2 months after the 10K and things have changed, and they are likely to have changed in that time, the company needs to update the due diligence to the sales agent. And the follow-on reason why I also believe that's true is because they had to disclose that info to the sales agent, and it was materially different than what analysts were forecasting. They also had to follow up and disclose it to the public. That is my read on what went down here with why we got also this 8K with the pre-earnings release. Maybe that makes sense to some of y'all. I invite you to Google prospectus due diligence and read all about the legal obligations that these institutions have to go out and sell shares on behalf of a company.
Tony, I seen a funny meme today on this topic here.
What's that?
The meme?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what it was about? It was Adam Aaron writing a prospectus, and on the other side it was Ryan Cohen as Mr. Bean trying to copy and cheat.
Yeah, I want to talk about this for just a second. And look, I have no hate. I know a lot of people for some reason think I hate GameStop. I don't hate GameStop. I'm just a stickler. Anybody in my Discord can tell you this. I am a stickler for getting the lowest risk-free price on speculative plays, even blue chip plays, the lowest possible price I can. And the more risky the play, the more of a hole I'm going to be about getting the absolute bottom. I have 100 people asking me this week, when are you going to buy back AMC? What price are you waiting for? Guys, I'm waiting for $3 on AMC. I'm waiting for $3. And so I don't hate GameStop. I was doing TA on it over the last several weeks, trying to time the absolute bottom. And I missed getting in at $10. And that's okay. That's okay, because what happened when it started running? I started day trading it. Did I miss anything, really? No, I didn't miss anything. This is what I want you guys to get over, this mentality of it takes a couple seconds to hit the buy button. Last week I day traded it almost every day of the week. This week, when it started crushing up and boom up halt, boom up halt, boom up halt, did I play that? Hell no. Did you play that, Mediocre?
No.
It's too damn dangerous at that point.
And I was all in cash, wasn't I, Tony?
You were what?
All in cash.
Yes. So I don't hate GameStop. I'm going to be a jerk about making sure I get a risk-free entry. There's no risk-free in a speculative play, but we want the most risk-free we can get. So I did not trade it really this week. I have some options plays I'll talk about next week. They don't expire till June, so not worth talking about right now. But this week, as I was watching all of this play out, and that massive run up was on, let me go to my hourly chart here. It ran up in pre-market on Monday, right? Or pre-market on Tuesday. That was the big run up. And then it's just been in free fall since then, since the time the market opened on Tuesday. I think the thing that most made me upset on this entire week, and I'm not just like saying this to you guys, we've been talking about it all week in conversations I have with people in the Discord, and everybody in the Discord has a different opinion, and that is fine. There's a wide variety of people. There's a wide variety of opinions. We share them all. Nobody is shunned for their different opinions. We encourage active discussion and debate. My opinion was
absolutely.
You needed to be out once that thing turned. And if you did not, you were going to bag hold it all the way back down to, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 17 bucks. I don't know where it's going to bottom out, because now they flipped the script a little bit with this dilution, even though it's going to be some short-term pain as they apply that selling pressure. Maybe the market soaks it up next week and the price never drops. We had a beautiful loaded up options chain, which made for a lot of volatility and made a lot of people money, especially if you were selling options this week. Beautiful volatility. But for people who bought, like I heard the YouTubers telling them to do, keep buying, guys, keep buying all the way up to 80 and diamond hand it. There's going to be a lot of people really regretting this. I am afraid. And that makes me angry.
I'm just glad none of the people we associate with got hurt, Tony. You know what I mean? Everybody was very focused and understood what was going on. It was actually quite impressive, I got to say.
What else did I want to get off my chest about this whole GameStop thing? What do you think is going to happen next week, Mediocre? Let's talk about that. Let me put up the chart here.
With GameStop?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a tough one, right? What do you think happened this week? Let's start with that. Was it Orion Cohen? Was it Roaring Kitty? Was it the option chain? Was it a combination of stuff?
I mean, my opinion?
Yeah, just your opinion. No one's gonna.
My opinion
hold
is
you to this.
It was Roaring Kitty coming back. But I have another thought, though.
What you got?
I mean, what happened at the end of today?
The
You know?
company took advantage of the price run up to raise money.
No, talking about
Oh, Roaring Kitty getting on his ET bicycle and riding away.
yeah. I think he was saying goodbye. So I don't know. I mean, I think it was Warren Kitty. Um, I think it didn't turn out the way they would have liked. You know what I mean? But I mean, they got to 80. But do you think he did it? Do you think he did it so that GameStop could put some more money in the balance sheet?
Here's what I think. I don't know if he did it purposely so GameStop could raise money. I do think that if it was pre-planned, like if you wanted to go full hater tinfoil, then I think GameStop would have had their paperwork ready to go on Monday, and we didn't get it till Friday. So I don't think he was working in cahoots with GameStop.
Yeah, I don't either. But
They started scrambling, I'm sure, on Monday to get the paperwork done, the due diligence done, and to get everybody signed off. And this morning was the absolute fastest they could get it out. And they're still going to make a fantastic amount of money for the company at $20 a share. But would they have done it at 70, 60, 50 if they could have? I think, yeah, if they would have had the paperwork ready, absolutely they would have. So the timing of it, what I do think it was Roaring Kitty too, but I don't think he was working in cahoots with them.
yeah, I don't either. I mean, it's quite the interesting thing. This week was very, very interesting, Tony. I gotta say, it made me think. And you know, I wanted to FOMO in, but I couldn't do it. You know that. And why couldn't I do it? Why couldn't I do it, Tony? Why couldn't I bring
Because
myself?
the higher it goes, the riskier it is, and we fucking hate risk. Preserve capital, protect your portfolio, look for chances to get a relatively sure profit, even if it is not the absolute massive profit that you wanted. Some profit is better than some losses. Is that a fair summary?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, for me, I make money every week with my account. I cannot be risking it on something and get into something and have it roll over and just dump. I can't do that. I'm not willing to do that.
Yep. Anya says, Tony, I got the impression you didn't think GME had anything going for it. I'm just not a fan for my portfolio for long-term holds, Anya, of brick and mortar companies that make their business by selling inventory, by selling merchandise. Just not a big fan of that. But over the last 3 years that we've been watching GameStop, they've tightened up the ship a lot. And I give them credit for that. Again, anyone who thinks I don't like GameStop hasn't really been listening. They don't like that I don't say what they want me to say. Buy it no matter what, buy it every day, hold it forever. I'm not going to say that because I'm here to make money. But they have done some tremendous things to get their cost under control. And it's just a matter of, I think, until we hear a strategic change from the company, it's just going to be a relatively low margin retail business like any other business. And that is not super exciting for me as a business or as an investment. The most exciting thing about it would be the whole dynamics of the retail involvement in it to fire off things like this. You know what I'm saying? To fire off weeks like this.
Yeah.
That makes it interesting if I get a good risk-free entry.
Were you around earlier when we were discussing? I don't know if you were there, and I'm not sure who was in the chat, but there was a conversation going on about at what price I like GameStop at, and there's a price that I really like it at, and I'd be willing to buy it and hold my position, right? But it's got to get to that area, and if it doesn't, I'm just not interested. It's not that I don't like the company. Like I don't I don't think that bankruptcy is an issue with them. Their issue is revenue, as we discuss this all the time.
Yeah, my
And
my biggest concern, and I know mediocre, you share this, is the long term decline in their top line revenue, and they have been cutting like maniacs to shore up the bottom line, so they're not losing money, and they're making fantastic headway in that department. But you can only cut at a slope so much, and then you flatten out on your cutting. There's just the only way to keep cutting is to keep closing stores. How many stores are they going to end up with? 4,000, 3,000, 2,000? Doesn't really matter. I'm just making a point here. At some point, your cost cutting flattens out. They got rid of all the fat, and now they're going to flatten out on their cost cutting. But if that revenue is still coming down, you start getting some margin pressures there. So we'll have to see what their long-term game plan is. That the thing that would be most exciting to me now that they have the opportunity to raise another $1 billion is that really opens up some doors for strategic acquisitions or really doing something fundamentally different. So I wouldn't
absolutely,
count GameStop out. And in fact,
absolutely.
the analysts gave them an upgrade today to, I think, $7 a share from 560, based on increasing the cash on the balance sheet and giving themselves a lot more runway.
Right. They create a new revenue stream somehow, whatever it is, whether it's acquiring something, whatever they have to do, right? And they'll be just fine as a company if they can create more revenue.
Do I want to buy it at 20, 19, 18, 17, 6? Do I want to buy it all the way down because they might acquire something in a month, 3 months, a year? I don't. I want to be a jerk and get in the least possible price that I can, the lowest possible price that I can, because until they announce something, it's going to go, likely back down to that range that it was. And then we got to suffer through these quarters of, I mean, gosh, they had a 28% year over year revenue decline. What if every quarter is like that for the next Q2 and Q3 until they get in their Christmas season? It's going to be a brutal year for GameStop. That's just kind of like the worst case scenario. But if Ryan's got something up his sleeve, then that could turn around overnight. So it is, that's why I call it a speculative play. You're speculating on Ryan Cohen, and that's fine. That is fine if anyone wants to do that. I might do that too, but I want to have the cheapest possible entry I can get to minimize my downside risk.
Yeah, I know. Like I was joking about that meme about dilution. I only find it funny because AMC did it and then GameStop did it, and it's kind of it's actually, what's funny is you did a video. I think was it this morning you did a video and put up the CEO handbook video again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a funny video, but it's true, and I think
And
that's okay.
we
Any
had been
company,
talking about GameStop all week, that they should do and might very well do a dilution, weren't we?
yeah, and we're talking about AMC doing it as well.
Yeah, we said almost every day this week in our conversations, GameStop needs to do a dilution. They'd be dumb to do one. They'd be dumb to not do one. Like $1 billion sounds really cool on your balance sheet, but when you're burning 100 million a quarter, or whatever they're going to be burning this year, it puts a ticking time bomb on your life cycle.
And we understand that it's unpopular. People don't want that to be done because it hurts shareholders, right? But ultimately, what is it? Is it is GameStop the forever company? Right? Like I would love to see GameStop thrive forever. I would absolutely love that. I'm a gamer myself, right? So is it to help the company? If you want the company to thrive, you wouldn't be upset about the dilution at all, in my
And
opinion.
that's the funny thing. The GameStop people are going to be thrilled about this dilution, most of them, right? If they're smart. But those same people will throw rocks over at AMC and say, your dilution was dumb. Yeah, Adam Aaron, I saw Matt Kors say Adam Aaron needs to get fired. I saw other people, Charlie, Zip Trader, same bullshit. Other people saying Adam Aaron needs to be in jail for illegally diluting. I'm like, this is the executive's job to ensure the livelihood of the company, to make sure they have enough liquidity.
They
There's
want him to pay
nothing.
down the debt so that they could be profitable. But how's he supposed to pay down the debt when we don't have a box office and you don't let him get the money to pay the debt down? I don't understand it.
Well, they have very simple answers for that, mediocre. If you're talking about AMC, how's he supposed to pay down the debt? Well, I don't want him to pay down the debt. I want him to cut costs. They should all work for free. In fact, until this company is profitable, AMC, everybody in the executive suite should work for free because they're just not making money. In fact, why stop there, mediocre? The fucking employees should work for free. Nobody at that company should get paid, except maybe in free movie tickets and popcorn, until this company is profitable. Because, God damn it, in America, if you're not making a profit, you don't get paid. That's just how it is in this country.
Oh my God.
Wait, sorry, that was communist China.
Do people actually say that?
They do say that. They don't want people to get a paycheck
I don't
unless
really pay
they're.
attention to what people say, to be
I
honest.
mean, there's literally thousands of companies on the big boards where they're not making money, and I'm pretty sure everybody's getting paid, and none of them are going to jail. But for some reason, these mouth breathers are fixated on Adam Aaron. He needs to go to jail because he's getting paid while he's trying to turn this company around. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's hard to have a logical discussion with a mouth breather, mediocre.
Yeah. I can't believe people say that stuff. It blows my mind.
So Ryan Cohen and the team at GameStop did exactly what they should do. We were expecting it, to be honest. We were saying to ourselves all week, they should do this. They probably will do this. And they did. So, and I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a smart business move. In fact, it was so smart, I made a video about it a year ago. It's called the CEO Handbook. Go watch it.
The thing is any company's going to do that, especially if they're having financial troubles. They don't have that's easy way to repair some of their issues that they're having. It's common knowledge, I think.
I wish that some of these people, instead of spending all day on Reddit and Twitter, might use a couple hours of their week to go take a finance class or an accounting class. And a lot of what is happening in their investments that they're getting upset about would make a lot more sense if you can read a financial statement, if you can read a balance sheet, if you can learn to think like an executive or a business owner. And a lot of these people also aren't business owners. They're just employees. They have no idea how bookkeeping works, how accounting works. And so for them, if they don't understand it, then it must be crime. And that is unfortunate.
It's crime, Tony. Excuse me for 1 minute.
Sure. Let's see what we got. Filthiness says, Tony, do you think they're diluting in the 20s instead of waiting for another run up? I don't know if there's going to be another run up next week. You could get a second bounce next week in GameStop. Sometimes that happens. You get the gyrations. They always end up petering out. So I can't say I haven't even looked at the options chain for next week. I'll do a TA video this weekend on GameStop when I have time to sit down and gather my thoughts about what I think for next week. But let's just say, just in generalities for your question, if it doesn't pop back up next week, I don't see them waiting for a future run up with this 45 million shares. It would be my guess that they're going to sell shares all the way down until they're done. And they're going to hope that the price stays in this $20 range, 20, 21, 22, 25, whatever they can get. That would be beautiful for them if investors support the stock and soak up those shares. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next week. So maybe investors support it. Maybe they're still pumped up. I don't know. Is Roaring Kitty going to be around next week? Too early to say. But let's just say in general, no matter what happens with the price, I think that they'll be looking to sell these shares over the coming days, weeks. I mean, look, what the AMC one took, about 5 weeks, 6 weeks? GameStop, it could take that long. But we'll know when we get updated filings. We can see in proxies, we can see in prospectus, we can see in 10Qs if the share count is updated. And that'll be our little tip if they don't file an 8K that just says, hey, we're done. As far as would they ever raise money into a future run-up, let's say there's one next year, they have the shelf offering now filed, the S3. And so they're ready to go. Essentially, they have the bulk of the work done next time. They just have to drop a quick, fresh 424B5 filing, the prospectus, and maybe they can move a little bit faster next time. But I just want to say, I hear this in every retail community that I talk to. So I'm not picking on GameStop. Every time there's a prospectus, the investors tell me every time, without fail, they're not really diluting. It's just for later. It's a just in case. I haven't been wrong yet. Not one time. It's always happening immediately. Could this be the one exception? I guess we'll find out. We'll find out in a few weeks. My just baseline assumption is I tell myself they're doing it right now. They probably sold some today, and they will continue to do so. The exception to that would be very solid, like blue chip companies that are just raising money, maybe for some future acquisition. If it's a more stable company, they can take their time, take a much longer time to raise the money. But I think just based on the timing, this was to capture this price push up right here. Juan says, Gia, let me try and get these in order. Sparky says, hopefully GameStop sold some in the low 20s. Build that war chest. Sparky, I know you get it. Gia says, what do we think of the CAT system, and will that help retail? I just think the CAT system is an audit system. It's designed to be a tool for investigators to use on the back end if they suspect some malfeasance. And I can't say whether or not any player in the market is particularly worried about it changing their day-to-day behavior. I would hope that knowing that it's out there might improve their behavior, but do I expect market shattering change to happen because of implementation of the CAT system? I do not. It's why I don't talk about it on my channel. But I think it's a great thing to have. Juan says, the issue is that Adam Aaron does this every time the stock is at the bottom, not on the run-up. I mean, it may seem that way, Juan, but a lot of times the reason the stock is going down is because of the troubled financial state and the box office. and the company's just trying to keep their head above water. So they're issuing these dilutions, what seems to you to be an inconvenient time. But if you understood how cash flow works and liquidity on the balance sheet and how they're forecasting their cash burn a year or 2 years out, and they're looking at box office for 2, 3, 4, 8 quarters out, a lot of it starts making sense. I have a very logical take on why they did every single one of their cash raises. And we've talked about it, but nobody, they don't like my opinion on it because I'm giving them facts based on black and white numbers, and they don't want to hear that. They just want to say, Adam Aaron, man, bad. CEO bad. I don't want to know about the financials. Not one of those people have I ever heard them talk about the financials. All you hear them say is, he's doing this to hurt us. Well, how about you take a day and sit down with me and you explain to me the financials and how they were just fine. When you can convince me, and I'm sincerely mean this to any of you, if you can walk me through your take on the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, and the next 4 quarters of box office, and draw me a forecast of how they're just fine, then maybe I'll get on board with you. But I'm doing the work every single day to look at these numbers, and nobody else is. So that's why you get all this nonsense, these conspiracy theories. I invite any of those people to contact me and walk me through your 12-month forecast. Show me how they're going to be just okay, how they're going to be just fine, and why the timing was bad. But they won't do it because they can't. That's not something that they ever focused on, and that's part of the problem why they are stuck right now. Chris says, does Roaring Kitty disappear next week, do you think? I mean, you can see my ET up here in Elliott and Roaring Kitty's last video today. We think that he might be gone, or maybe he's just saying, have a good weekend. I don't know. We'll find out on Monday, I guess, or maybe on Sunday. Jeffrey, ¿qué onda, amigo? Did you just say mouth breather with a TH, mouth breather? Chris says the GME dilution makes sense. It is the pump this week that feels inorganic. I would agree with that 100%. We saw last week when I was day trading GameStop, and I was talking in the Discord with folks last week about how loaded the options chain for this week, the one we just finished, was. And I said, if we get over these certain levels, this thing could really take off, because the options chain was loaded for bear. The inorganic piece of it that I'm thinking is like, we kind of had an inkling a couple weeks ago that things were changing. There was some big activity going on in the options chain, and people were calling it out 2 weeks ago before this even really started. And so I kind of wonder, probably like some of you guys, who knew what started all of this? It does feel a little bit inorganic. I would agree with you. What do you think, Mediocre?
Yeah, it was pretty strange. I'm not sure what caused it though. I just,
And then the timing of Roaring Kitty, Andrew Tate, before that, Zach Morris, all these big guys jumping on board AMC and GameStop at the same freaking time. It just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Like something is going on here and I don't understand it. But yeah, it feels inorganic in a sense.
I said, don't mind me just watching. Tony, though, did you make money this week?
I did. Yeah, I made my best trade was on AMC. I didn't really trade GameStop this week. I day traded it last week, but my top trade on AMC was at 1,150% gain on the call options that I had. And then I had on my shares, my AMC shares, I sold some of them on Monday at far too low of a price. Not a big deal. I'll just buy them back when it comes back down. The rest of them, though, I had covered with sold calls. So I will lose those shares today. But
Are you worried
I
about
will
losing
I will be
shares?
losing them at about a 40% gain, 30 to 40% gain, because my cost basis was under $3 on those shares. So I could have rolled I went back and forth on this all week. I could have rolled the expiration on those covered calls to next week, but I was like, why am I doing that? I already think AMC is coming back down. And so let me just go ahead and take the 30, 40% gain from selling my shares for a profit plus the covered call premium, which was fat already. And that's just more money in the bank. I'll be sitting all in cash on that part of my portfolio. And when AMC comes back down, start selling cash secured puts, capture the premium, get another entry back in. I don't know. I'd like to get under $3, but we'll have to see. 350. I don't know. We'll see when we get there.
I mean, it was there was a lot of talk about rolling options and stuff this week, and which is not a bad thing. People made money. They made bank. Some people got out of their $3. They sold calls for $3. They got out of them with a profit or even. I don't know. I couldn't believe that, but it happened.
You mean rolling options?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of that going on this week.
Whatever.
Some
Go ahead, mediocre.
I was going to say some needed to get rolled until next week. Some didn't need to get rolled. It's not like it was a big deal. It was.
I heard of a variety of different things in our own group, mediocre, this week. Some were saying, "Oh, I wish I would have bought more because I was going to sell at the top," and we already have people in chat saying they made $10,000-$20,000 here on this chat tonight, this week on AMC and or GameStop, and that is beautiful.
I love it.
But we had other people that held all the way to the top, and they were like, "Oh, I really want a couple more dollars." And then boom, that elevator hits and they miss the moment. So we have people on the ride back down. Again, I don't give instructions, so everybody's making their own decisions. We had other people that made money on call options. We had people that made money straight on shares. We had people that just sat out the whole thing because it was moving too fast up and they didn't feel comfortable getting in. So wherever you're at, I hope you're on one of the money making sides of the trade. And if you're not, if you're on the, I bought all the way up and I'm riding it all the way back down. Well, I will say a lot of prayers for all of you this weekend that there's a little second bounce next week. And now that this week is done, I'll do a little bit of DD into the options chain next week and see what I think. And we'll talk about that on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah. It was a very interesting week. I'm glad that the majority of the people we talked to came out positive. That makes me happy.
Like I said, the thing that makes me the most angry is if there were people, mediocre, whose only content for the last 2 weeks was, guys, I'm not selling no matter what. You shouldn't sell. You should just keep buying and diamond hand it. That kind of shit pisses me off. Because, people have been hurting for 3 years. This was a beautiful opportunity for them to get some of their money back. Now, if they were encouraged, at least had the option to talk to someone like in our group, like, hey, yeah, you ought to consider having some brackets to get out. And they still didn't pull the trigger. Well, then they made their own choice, and that's cool. But these people influencing folks, it's going to $1,000, guys. I heard people saying that for GameStop. It's going to
All I have
$1,000
to
bucks.
say,
My
to
price
people-
target, I'm not selling until it hits 2,500. I heard that on big GameStop channels in the last 10 days. Utterly ridiculous. The responsibility these people have for creating a fresh round of bag holders.
all I gotta say, Tony, is the people saying diamond hands. I can't hear them.
Why can't you hear them?
I
You block them out?
don't hear them. I don't even know what they're saying. I don't know why.
I want to think that most people learned something over the past 3 years. And apparently a lot of them didn't. And that's their choice. And they can live with it. That's fine. But I'm just going on record that it makes me upset.
I don't like to see people lose money.
I don't either. Anya says it happened so quickly. Now I'm psychologically prepared. Yeah, Anya, we were chatting about this earlier this week. Like, it only takes so many times of watching something run up and you didn't sell, and that regret kicks in as it falls all the way back down. It only takes one or two of those for an intelligent person to say, I will never let that happen again. Even if I don't capture the entire run up, I'm going to start selling into run ups, have brackets. After getting spanked one or two times, you will never let it happen to you again. But a lot of people apparently still didn't learn that lesson this week. And, all they're going to be saying all weekend, they're going to be calling me a shill. Tony, you just don't know it's going to run up to $1,000 next week. Hey, maybe it will. And I hope it does for you, but maybe it won't. And then what are you going to do? You had a great opportunity on GameStop to 8x your money from $10 to $80. Those type of opportunities on a company this size don't come along that often. About once every 3 years, mediocre.
Yeah, I'm doing something in the background. I'm here. Yeah, it's interesting. You saying he'll be back in 3 years?
I don't know. Chuck says I sold GameStop for over 50 and doubled my AMC position. Well, I'm glad you sold GameStop over 50, Chuck. I am not buying AMC just yet. What's AMC trading at today? In fact, I guess as of today, I'm completely out of my AMC position. Again, third time this year, I'm out of my AMC position. No, fourth, right, mediocre? Fourth time I'm out of my AMC position this year. Two of them unintentional. Because
I'm out now until next week, I think.
Two of them were unintentional from selling covered calls, and people are going to say, ha, 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 you sold covered calls and you lost your shares. I lost them at a 30 to 40% profit after holding them for a week. So, yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. Would you be mad, mediocre, if you made 40% a week on every trade?
Not. I love making 40%.
Yeah. Anyone who is laughing at me for that, I bet it's just a little bit of regret on your side that you're still holding and you didn't sell anything. Because I'm going to be all in cash. I'm going to wait for the price to drop back down. And then now I have even more cash from the AMC part of my portfolio to buy even more shares and wait for the next cycle. Wait for the next cycle. And yeah, earlier this week, we were talking about success stories of people that we talked to who have lowered their cost basis by 50%, from $40 cost basis down to $20 just by actively managing their trading over the last couple months. What's the mediocre? Do you remember the best story you got?
Well, Dana did very well. She's probably at the top of the list.
She sold some into this week, right?
Oh yeah, she timed the top. And she
And
did very good.
you know who's not lowering their cost basis the easy way?
Who's that?
People who are only holding. If
The
your
ones
only strategy to lower your cost basis is keep buying more, that will work, but you're increasing your risk and you're not capitalizing on unexpected run-ups, which is where you take a profit, go all in cash, wait for it to come back down, and then buy back in. And then you can, if you want to buy back in, you have even more money to buy more shares at a cheaper price. And usually you only have to wait a few days or a week.
Tony, put up J Dog's comment. J Douglas.
Let me find it. Jay Douglas. Jay says, I turned 2,000 into 30,000 on options, used the 30K to buy shares at 750, thinking it was a dip, and lost about half my profit. Hoping just to break even in the next couple of weeks. What do you think, Mediocre?
I think that's exactly what we're talking about, Tony. You know, I mean, it's sad, right? And I don't think that Jay's in such a terrible position, in my opinion, right? I think that it'll take time to recoup that, but you know, I mean, I think he got a hit and he's underwater.
Here's, I think, the difference, Mediocre, and I took a lot of arrows in the last 10 days on this. People laughing at me in the comments because I said I don't understand really what is causing these price run-ups, but it's not related to anything fundamental or financial on these companies. My thesis for where the price on GameStop and AMC is headed over the long term 100% has not changed. So with that in mind, I'm just looking at these like this is a momentary blip for whatever reason. It doesn't matter, that is going to come back down. So if I'm trading into that run up, I want to make sure I get my exit, be happy with my profits, and then just be patient and wait for it to come back down.
But I will give Jay Douglas a little bit of advice. But I would definitely say check with your CPA on what I'm about to say, or a tax professional.
What is that?
The fact that he earned 30K and now it's at 15K. He still owes tax on 30K, most likely. So keep that in mind for tax season. But, you know,
So you're saying when it drops back down to 3, he should sell it all, take the loss, and then wait 30 days to buy back in?
no, he sold it at the top and he re-entered at 750. So he already created the wash sale.
No, he had a gain on the way up. So
Right.
He doesn't have a
So
wash sale.
he gained 30K, right? He bought back in at 750 and we're trading underwater now.
Yeah, he could create a loss by selling when the price bottoms out. And then he could wait 30 days to avoid a wash. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a question better, discussed with a CPA, but you can offset those gains with the loss if your timing is excellent.
But you're only allowed 3,000 a year to write off. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's going to need to just remember about his taxes because he's going to end up if it was 30K gain, he's going to owe tax on 30K.
That's a good point.
I just want to bring it up. So he's thinking about that. So he's got to make good decisions now that he's underwater because, the money that he was going to pay for tax is underwater, some of it. I mean, he'll be fine. I don't want him to get scared, but he should talk to a tax professional at least.
Jeffrey says, I've been holding and averaging down, I think, on GameStop, right, Jeffrey, for 2.5 years, took the lower energy approach this time. sold 300 of them at 71 and bought back today at 21. Beautiful.
Nice job, Jeffrey.
Andrew says, do we think that the cat system is going to make any difference? I just talked about that a second ago, Andrew. So I'll let mediocre answer this time.
The cat system. Uh-oh. News just, hang on. Let me see what this says real quick.
Oh, is that what, I always thought that you had like a 1980s phone. That's your news alert, huh?
Yes. Now y'all heard it firsthand.
What is the news?
Nothing serious. It's just telling you to something about Streetwise. Market force is getting extreme. Just talking about meme stocks. I'll read that later. Nothing important. But the cat system, do I think it's going to have any real effect? I'm not sure if it will or not. I'm curious as to what's going to happen with that. You know, I'd like more transparency for retail investors, right? Like I don't like having to wait 2 weeks to find out what short interest is and shit like that. It pisses me off, to be honest. But I know there's programs you could pay for and all this. And they say information's not free, but I don't know. I think that we should all have an equal playing field. That's my take on it, right? And I know a lot of people like, oh, but I thought you don't believe in market corruption. No, I do. I have a difference of opinion on how we're going to repair that. So hopefully this does something, but will it? I don't know yet. I'm a wait and see kind of guy.
Yeah, my elevator pitch on the cat system is about the same way. If I thought it was meaningful, I'd be making content on it. And you don't see any content on my channel about the cat system. Do I support it? Absolutely. Is it good for regulators to have an auditing tool to, after the fact, go in and track something down? Absolutely.
What I like about it is it limits from T3 to T2, but I wish it was more like just trade day,
I don't think the cat system has anything to do with T+2 to T+1. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
That's a separate rule, as I understand it.
Then why is it changing in May 28th? I thought that had to do with the cat system.
Not that I'm aware of. Y'all can correct me in the chat, but I think that's two separate initiatives.
No. Well, that shows you how much I pay attention, Tony.
Cigar King.
I could 100% be wrong, people.
Cigar King says, what if you lost 30,000 2 years ago and made 30,000 this year? Once you lose money, you can write off $3,000 worth of capital gains per year until you've exhausted those losses. So that if your total for this year, if you end this year with 30,000 in gains and you had 30,000 of losses 2 years ago, you should be able to deduct 3,000 of your carried loss from 2 years ago this year against your gains from this year.
I'm going to say tax professional. That's what I would do.
Keep in mind, we're not CPAs. We hire CPAs. So yeah, we're not the best people to get tax advice from, but that's my general knowledge of it.
Exactly. And if you wrote off 3,000 of the 3K, does that come off of the 3,000 you lost? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wrote off for a year, they gave you 3,000 off of whatever. Does that come off of your 30,000? I'm not sure. That's why you need to talk to a tax professional, in my opinion.
Sparky says corporate bonds are also going to T+1 this month. I didn't know that. And guys, I have been ramping up my talk with folks on social media, both in the community tab and Twitter, about bonds. And it's not because I'm a bond holder. I get these comments. I have gotten comments like, well, I know why you're talking about this because you're buying bonds. I'm not a bond trader, period. I think in 1980, I might have owned 5% of my 401k in a bond index fund, but I found it very boring. And generally back then in the 90s, bond funds weren't really generating great returns. So I just never have been a bond trader ever. I studied bonds in college when I took finance and accounting 30 years ago. So I'm not also portraying myself as a bond expert, not by any stretch, but I do understand the basic mechanics of them, and I'm increasing my coverage of them for you because right now it matters. Right now it matters to understand what challenges AMC is facing if you're in that play, to understand what challenges they're facing with this debt restructuring. You're going to need to bite the bullet and listen to a couple videos from me about how the whole bond situation, the AMC's debt, plays into this debt restructuring, because it's all tied together in this big ball of string. And I don't want you to think when you hear me talking about it over this weekend, I want to do explain like I'm 5 type video. I don't want you to think when I'm talking about it, it's because I'm buying the bonds. I own 0 AMC bonds. But I definitely understand how everything is intertwined and the exact reasons that AMC is doing everything that they're doing with these cash raises and fixing the balance sheet, bonds, bond value, debt restructuring. There is a connect the dots between all of those. And if you don't understand that at a basic level, you're going to get mad at them for doing certain things because you're not looking at the whole picture. When you're only looking at one dot, it's real easy to get mad. And I'll be very honest with you. Like when AMC did all the debt restructuring back in 2020 and 2021, I didn't even pay attention to it because I didn't care. I didn't think I'd still be talking about AMC 3 years later.
I didn't care. And the reason I care now is because we need AMC to succeed, right?
And some of those bonds are coming due. I mean, we've
Right.
been here so long. Some of those
And
bonds are coming due. They're on the short-term horizon.
Right.
So,
and they're the ones who lent AMC the money to keep us going. So I think they should get their money, of course. I mean, I know that might be controversial, but that's just the truth.
well, they're going to get their money one way or the other, mediocre. They're going to get their money by restructuring the debt, or they're going to get their money in a bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And that was another comment that I got. Tony, why do you keep on talking about bankruptcy? Adam Aaron said it's inconceivable. You told us there's no going concern risk in the 10Q. True and true. But remember when Sue Gove, the Bed Bath & Beyond CEO, did an interview and said everything's just fine, and then 2 days later filed Chapter 11? You remember that? I do. There's a very gray area between what a CEO believes at the time it was said versus what happens to them the next day or the next week or the next month or the next quarter. They might very well believe what they said, and then things change. So that's one thing. The going concern disclosure, the lack of one for AMC, tells me that there's very low risk over the next 12 months. By the end of this year, very low risk that AMC goes bankrupt. They have plenty of cash. They're going to pay all their debt payments. I'm not worried about that unless there's another COVID. But in 2026, we have over 2 million in bonds coming due. And what happens if you can't pay them? Then the lenders can foreclose. Exactly. That would be a bankruptcy. Now, Adam Aaron says inconceivable right now because he is convinced they will get a deal done. I'm not privy to whatever negotiations are going on, but he feels pretty convinced. So I'll give him that latitude for now. But I'm not giving him a complete pass until I know that the debt restructuring is done. So when you see me out there commenting that this all is important to understand, or there will be a bankruptcy risk in 2026, I'm not joking. And Adam Aaron's not lying either when he says right now bankruptcy is inconceivable. That's what he believes for the time being. But things could change. This year, I think there's almost, I don't want to say zero, but close to zero risk of bankruptcy. They have plenty of cash. The box office is going to be good. The second 2 quarters of this year, there's no reason for this company to file Chapter 11 in 2024 or even 2025 for that matter. Not only that, they have access to what, 200 million times $5 a share. They have access to a lot more capital in the equity markets if they need to dilute more. Someone, how do you say his name? KH Toolhu. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Did you know congressmen yesterday proposed a project to end the Fed and that Powell got COVID-19 today? I did not. I'll tell you guys, I've been working on this freaking meme stock nonsense between trying to keep up with what's going on and being up at 4 o'clock in the morning and watching shit till 7 o'clock and then talking with everybody 20 hours a day. I'm out of the loop. I'm out of the loop on news. I heard that a couple congresswomen were fighting with each other. And I know that Tyson and Jake Paul had their way in. Other than that, I don't really know what's going on in the world this week.
I didn't know any of this, so sorry, I haven't been paying much attention.
This weekend, I plan to catch up on everything. I literally have been exhausted. I did take a little break away from the rat race yesterday, and I went and saw the movie If with who is it? Ryan Reynolds. Is that the right Ryan? And I think the young actress, I think her name is Caitlin Fleming. It was okay. It was not as good as I wanted it to be because we need some home runs. But look, I don't have young kids anymore, so I'm not the target audience. And I hope that families go see it. It would be very enjoyable, I think, for family with kids. It's just not really. I really want something from a movie. Like, I'm a real movie fan. It's got to be over the top entertaining. It's got to be over the top funny. It's got to be over the top dramatic, or just the cinematography and the acting have to be, top notch to get a really good grade for me. And this one just fell short in a couple areas.
I think it's because you're an actor, Tony.
When you are a failed actor, mediocre, you develop very high standards. It's true.
I love when you say that. When are you going to play that guitar, Tony? Could be a rock star soon.
I have it over here because of my backdrop on the screen tonight. But yeah, maybe we'll do a jam session this weekend, mediocre. You can get out the bongo drums, and I'll get out the guitar, and we'll see what happens.
Are we going to be a successful rock band?
No, not this year.
Well, we can check that one off the list.
Jim Eagle, what's up, amigo? Sparky, do you have any other bond thoughts after my little lecture there? Matt says, how many more shares does AMC have to dilute with? About 190 million, Matt. About 190 million. And let's say the price drops back down to 350. That gives them about I'm just going to, rough $650 million more to play with. Not a ton. Now, I'm just going to be honest. Y'all want the honest, or you just want spoon-fed hopium? Mediocre?
Let's go honest.
650 million is not a lot.
No, it ain't.
So I'm going to repeat, for if it's your first time here, for AMC investors, the 3 things that I'm looking at for this year is box office. How big is it? Domestic box office per quarter. And then I'm going to use those numbers to calculate the cash burn per quarter. I'm going to start doing that in June for this quarter. And we're not off to a great start in Q2. And then I'm going to use those numbers to look at the cash on the balance sheet, just like I did in March, because I know that they want to restructure the debt. I know that they might need to add more liquidity to the balance sheet if we burn off a lot of cash. And I will try and do a better job of giving you my thoughts, even if I get death threats. If I think there's a chance for another dilution after Q2. 650 million. I mean, we're about to tap it out. So go see some damn movies and encourage your friends and families to see some movies. And hopefully these movies Hollywood puts out are worth your time to go see, because revenue really, really matters right now. That's why these people that say boycott AMC piss me off so bad. The number one thing this company needs is people not boycotting it, going to go see movies. Or these people calling for the boycotts because they're so mad at Adam Aaron are going to end up screwing all of us. Like, those people are not friends of mine. If you're saying boycott the company, then you're basically telling me you're so mad at yourself, you want everyone to lose all their money. That kind of shit pisses me off. But we need to keep a close eye on the number of shares they have left. The higher the price of the stock is, obviously, the amount of money they can raise goes up. 650 million could be $1 billion at $5. So we'll have to look at the stock price too. And if I'm not mistaken, the credit rating agencies and maybe even the lenders that they're renegotiating with are kind of looking at that potential, that we call it the equity raise potential of the company, should they need to. So I think we should look at it too. We shouldn't be oblivious to it, and we shouldn't look at it as a bad thing. Should look at it as like a emergency safety net, because that's how the lenders are going to look at it. If shit hits the fan, how much money could AMC raise? That's gonna help give us a comfort level to restructure the debt. That's what the lenders are saying, I think. So, ideal scenario is that AMC limps along with minimal cash raises, minimal other changes, and then we get into some better quarters, better box office, and interest rates come down. As interest rates come down, the value of AMC's bonds should go up, I think. And I think that's how it works. And then they get as the value of AMC's bonds come up, that makes it a little easier for them to get a debt restructuring done. See, this all kind of plays together: box office, revenue, price of the stock, cash on the balance sheet, interest rates, debt restructuring. It's all interconnected in ways that a lot of people don't understand. So again, for those of you that are mad at Sean Goodman or mad at Adam Aaron, it's because you're not yet seeing how all these things are factors. They're all critical. and they all have to hit perfectly for the optimal outcome. It's going to require some luck. It's going to require some things that aren't in AMC's control. The success of the movies, what the Fed does with rates. So I can't tell you how it's going to come out. What I can do is go see a movie. What I can do is go buy a pizza. What I can do is go buy some popcorn. That's my small contribution. And if I am investing in the stock because of the risk that I see with all these things that aren't even in AMC's control, I'm going to make sure I'm getting the lowest damn price I can to minimize my risk. Sparky says, yes, ability to raise cash is coverage for debt payment. So he's talking about how the lenders look at AMC's untapped shares versus times the share price. That's our ability to raise cash. And so this weekend, I hope to kind of give you guys I still got to go back and read all those 2020 and 2021 10Qs. There's all sorts of pages about how they restructured the debt and how the deals went down. And it finally hit me this week. I was wondering, like, why is there 50 million of 7.5% or 5.75% bonds due 2025? Like, why that weird odd amount? It's because of the way that they restructured the debt back in 2020, and not everybody took a debt swap. And those that didn't take the debt swap to a later date, that's those people that you see that the company owes $50 million to in 2025. So I kind of want to distill this down into a very easy to understand video for you guys. I'll do all the hard work and give you hopefully an easy summary if you're interested in this stuff. I know not everybody will, but for the mouth breathers, you know, when they say la 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 la, you know, you'll have something. Well, maybe go watch this video and get informed. But they won't do it. They all hate me. Jeffrey says, how many phone calls did Adam have to make to finally convince Ryan to dilute? I think the CFOs were probably talking. I think Adam gets a lot of blame and Ryan Cohen might get blame, but I don't think Ryan Cohen's covering just about every executive slot for free over at GameStop, but I don't think he's covering the CFO slot. And I honestly think Sean Goodman is the brains behind keeping this company afloat. And maybe Sean Goodman and the CFO of GameStop had a call. I don't know, but I don't think that Adam should get all the blame, because it's really the CFO's job to forecast cash flow, cash burn, provide all the budgets to the board and the forecasts. And it's also his job to negotiate these deals, his job and his team. Adam's the CEO. He's the puppet string master. He sets the strategy for the company, but he's not making these day-to-day financing decisions. That's not how a CEO's job works. Enjoy the movie, Sparky. He's going to go see Strangers Chapter 1. I almost saw that yesterday, but I decided Strangers Chapter 1, I think, is part of a series. There was apparently, I didn't see it, apparently a Strangers movie back in 2020. So I'm going to watch that one on Prime Video or pay-per-view, wherever I can find it. I'm going to watch that in the next day or so, and then I'll go see Strangers Chapter 1. Just so, I just like having context. Oh, and I also need to watch Mad Max Fury Road or whatever it's called. The one Mad Max movie I haven't seen I need to watch that this weekend because Furiosa is coming up. And I don't have the backstory on that movie. So Diana, I don't know if you just heard all that. She says how much shares are in the free float. So should be about 340 million. Is that right? Including the debt for equity swap they just did. Sorry, 360 million. Around 360 million. At some point, we'll get an update on our brokers showing the new outstanding shares. Mine still says 295, but that'll update next week. Channy, what's going on? How you doing? What other questions y'all got? Tell me some success stories. Who else made money this week trading GameStop and AMC? It's not an embarrassment on this channel. We want to hear that you traded it smart. And if you want to fess up that you decided not to sell purposely or you made a mistake, you can fess that up too. I don't want to hear number of shares. But if you had a success you want to brag about, let us know. Jim says Fury Road is one of my go-to in-flight movies. Can't believe I've never seen it, Jim. I have been rewatching all of the other ones. Mad Max and I forget whatever the Mad Max 2 was, and then Thunderdome. I found on rewatching them, I didn't appreciate them as much on the rewatch as I originally remembered enjoying them back in the day. So I'm hoping that I enjoy Fury Road a little bit better. But Furiosa looks really, really good. Matt says he made 5,000 day trading GameStop, got in and out. Beautiful, Matt. Channy says I failed miserably, but I didn't lose. Anja says I already confessed. Monkey Tamer says I made the most money I ever have trading $3.50. What? Puts. Okay. Anya says you don't lose till you sell. But Moonmonk made 23,000 this week trading AMC. Very nice. Interstellar Ape got his first 1,000% banger on a call option. Beautiful. I don't trade a ton of options because I'm pretty picky. I'm usually looking for opportunities to make 100%. And I already ran through my options trading with you guys for AMC this week. But for those that are just joining in, so my covered calls, those will get exercised today. And I'll make about 40% on those. And so I'll have to rebuy my shares next week. Once the stock started running up over my covered call strike price, I bought just regular, long calls. I was like, well, if this thing's going to keep going, I'm going to keep riding it with some long calls because I know I'm likely to lose my shares and I'm still going to make a profit on them, and that's fine. But if it keeps going, I want to ride it as far as it goes. So AMC ran up to 13 in pre-market, and when the market opened, it started coming down. I sold those calls. One day later, made 1,150%. So not a bad week for me. It's not often that I get 1,000% call option gain. If I would not have sold covered calls on my shares, I would have also sold them on when it turned on the 14th, when it turned down from 13. But as it was, I did fine with the long calls. I thought, there was a chance the price was going to drop below $4 today, and I'd get to not only keep my covered call premium and my shares, but I'm going to lose my shares today, and I'll likely buy them back next week. I will buy them back. I'm just going to wait for the price to come down. Your wife's boyfriend said, "Oh, Six Son, what's up?" He said he got out too early on GME. It's better than not getting out at all, Six Son. That's what I want you guys to focus on. Your wife's boyfriend says, "I was thinking what would happen. Roaring Kitty came back. Now we know. Now we know." And yeah, the fact that he never said anything, was that to make sure that he had no legal liability? Did he just do the memes because it's pretty safe? Did his account get bought by somebody? I hope one day we find out. I hope one day we find out. Cancel Bubble says, where do you sell AMC and GameStop after hours? Most brokers will allow you after hours trading, but depending on the broker, there are different hours. Some brokers, like I know Webull in my time zone, will let me start trading at 4 o'clock in the morning. Fidelity and Schwab, the bigger brokers, 7 o'clock in the morning. Robinhood, you can trade GameStop 24 hours a day. So check around on the brokers, and if you see if your broker allows extended hours trading, and if there's something you need to do to enable it. But it should be available to just about anybody. Your wife's boyfriend says, "What is sell?" It's something that we're trying to teach people. And I know I get a lot of hate. You're not a team player. You just don't understand this play. I understand the play, and I'm going to be in the play. I might be out of it for a couple days. But look, just like when these companies, they're like, "Oh man, the market handed us a gift and they're raising money into it." You need to start thinking like them. Robinhood has 24-hour trading. They used to have it on both GameStop and AMC, both. And then I think there wasn't enough volume on AMC. And they stopped doing it. But last couple of weeks, we were getting updates all night on Robinhood. It really is terrible in a sense, because you can't ever sleep. When something's popping off like this week, who fucking slept? If you were watching someone who had 24-hour access, or you had it yourself, you probably were sleeping with one eye open. Not on the weekend. That is correct. Sorry, clarification. And definitely not on all stocks. That is correct also. Mediocre must have had a hell of a long phone call there. All right, we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to take a couple more questions. I hope he comes back before we got to wrap this up. But I do want to say I talked to Massalorian today. We're going to get him on a live stream. He did a live stream a couple days ago on his channel as a test. And I think he's going to be available in the next couple days. So maybe Sunday night we'll get him on. I wanted to invite him on tonight, but he was not available. So we'll get him back on, and and crack a beer and everybody have a group hug virtual. Be good to get the gang back together. Tech We Love says, are you saying that your covered calls did not get called away when it ran? I am. Yeah. I had 350 strikes and $4 strikes, and they did not get called away. I haven't even checked them today, but they expired today. They were not called away as of yesterday or this morning. I did hear from people in the Discord that their GameStop shares got called away in the middle of the week. It can happen if the price is far above the strike, and whoever bought your covered call is worried about it coming down. They can take your shares even in the middle of the week because they want to flip them. They want to flip them and get that money. But as of last night, and I think I still saw them there this morning, I wasn't honestly even worried about it. I just assumed unless the price dropped below 4, was probably going to lose them. So I wasn't obsessing over it today. Red Dragon says, are we drinking or what? I've got a Founders Coffee Porter here. Actually, it says roasted coffee notes with graham cracker sweetness. It's pretty good. Jay says, I would be surprised if we don't bounce back up a little after all the trading volume on AMC and GameStop. Totally possible. Could there be more volatility to the upside next week? Totally. I will try and do a look at the options chain over this weekend and do some TA updates with thoughts, but it's going to kind of it's a flip of the coin. The options chain is the primary thing that I've been looking at, but I'll look at the chart also and see if we can divine anything about what might happen next week, and maybe we'll get another little pop. That's not unusual that you get that little, what I call the second little baby bump, the second pop. 2021, I know a lot of this is what's going to happen. Everyone's going to make videos this weekend. I can already predict it. Guys, remember back in 2021 when it ran up to 400 and it came all the way down to 90, then it ran back up to 300. I don't think that happened in isolation. There were events that were going on that were causing those. So could you look back at that and say it's guaranteed to happen to that degree this year? I don't know. I think whoever is going to make those videos guaranteeing you another run back up to $80 next week ought to also do an analysis on what caused the dips and rips, the multiple dips and rips. I think the first one was due to a dilution. Another one had to do with Roaring Kitty exercising his call options. Some of it had to do with the buy button. It's just like so convoluted what was happening back then. I don't know. I need to go back and look at it myself, but I hope we do. For any of you that missed the opportunity this week, I hope it happens. I certainly won't be making videos telling you it's guaranteed to happen. But someone will. Someone sure will.
Sorry about that, Tony. Phone call, man.
Welcome back.
I was not expecting that.
Maple Blue says he lost all his shares too on a covered call. What is a good price average? First of all, did you make money on your covered calls? Second of all, he says, what is a good price average you think is good for re-enter? I've already talked to Mediocre and a bunch of other people about this, and they don't believe me. But They're calling me a bear. I'm like, I'm not a bear. Just I'm realistic, and I am very stingy about getting a good entry. I said every day this week that I want to see AMC below $3 or in that range, 3 to 325, to start selling $3 cash secured puts to get then my re-entry up. If it dips below, maybe I'll sell $3 cash secured puts. Maybe I'll sell 350s. We'll just have to see when we get there. But somewhere in that range, we got a couple new factors with the debt being paid off and the dilution being done. I don't know if it'll go down to 3, but somewhere in that range, 3 to 350. When we get there, we'll see. That's where I'd like to start selling cash secured puts and then try and use those to get an entry into buying shares. So I'll sell the puts, collect the premium, and then hope it drops just right below my strike price. Not well below it, just right below it on a Friday, so I get to buy the shares. We'll see. I'll let y'all know when we get there.
Red Dragon, it's easier if you join the Discord. Tony doesn't promote his own Discord, but I'll tell you right now, it's easier to join the Discord.
Everyone always asks, can I get an invite to the Discord? The Discord is free if you are a member of the channel. So get on a desktop, hit the join button, go to Discord, sync up Discord to your YouTube name, and you'll automatically be in.
A lot more can happen in the Discord than on the YouTube video.
Yeah, I got to watch, if you make an options video, people are going to try and twist it. Oh, look at this guy. He's just pushing options.
Exactly.
Not pushing options. I've said over and over, do not fucking trade options.
We can show you the basics.
If you don't know what you're doing, don't trade options. You will lose money.
Absolutely.
But we can walk you through and help you, kickstart your learning process and talk about exactly what we're doing. So till it makes sense.
Make it make sense. That's all we try to do, right, Tony?
Make it make sense, and then it's up to you. It's not for everybody. And I think they get a lot of hate. Options trading gets a lot of hate from people who don't understand it.
Absolutely.
God, man. Here's the most simple way to talk about cash secured puts. It's been a while since we said this story, Mediocre, but if you told me, Tony, I'd buy 1,000 shares of AMC, I'd willingly do it. I want to do it. I got the cash sitting right here. If only it would drop to $3. I'm just going to sit here and wait however long it takes. When it gets to $3, I'm going to buy no matter what. My immediate response to you would be, why are you not selling $3 cash secured puts then?
Absolutely.
Because you could make money every single week selling those puts
and never hold the stock until you
you're just making money. You're keeping your cash. But if it goes below $3, you will buy the shares.
Right. And you want to own them at that price anyway. So if it's at $2.90, for example, why do you care? You wanted it at $3. You're good.
That's kind of the mentality of how I think about cash secured puts. So, and that's exactly how my basis was well under $3. Sell cash secured puts. I sold them for 25 cents. So got the shares for $3. My cost basis is now $2.75. The next week, sell covered calls for 45 cents. Now my cost basis is $2.75 minus 45 cents, $2.30. How'd you like to have a $2.30 cost basis on your shares? And then turn around and sell them for $4. You almost doubled your money in a week, 2 weeks. It's just stupid how easy it is if you get out of this mentality of these people telling you, don't listen to someone talking about options.
Now you have to know a little bit of technical analysis and understand, you know, market where the market's probably going to end up or stuff like that. Like there's a lot involved in knowing like where you think the price action is going to be, right? That all gets into play as well. But for the most part, it's not that difficult. But it's comprehending and understanding the language because it's a different language. And if you can understand that language and figure it out, it's going to click and you're going to be good to go.
Yeah, I would not recommend this to anybody who doesn't have someone to kind of mentor you, or you haven't spent some time read a book on options, watch some videos, and then paper trade for a while.
Exactly.
Most of your brokers will allow you to paper trade. You can simulate a trade and see if you really understand it. Almost mediocre is like a light bulb in our group. When someone tries it for the first time,
Absolutely.
they're like, holy hell, I did not realize all the money I was leaving on the table
Yep.
by
It's
not doing this all
eye-opening
the
to
time.
them. It's insane. I was talking to somebody, Tony, today, and or maybe it was yesterday. I don't remember what day it was. It might have been yesterday because the price was higher. But they were trying to tell me that they thought the price was where they thought it should be trading. And I'm not going to say any names. It doesn't really matter who the person is, right? But I asked them. I said, "Well, if you think this is a good price where it should be trading, would you buy some more right now?" And they're like, "Well, no." And I'm like, "Well, why not?" And they're like, "Well, because I want to buy it at this price." And I said, "But you think it's worth this price? Why do you think it'll get to your price?" You know, and they didn't understand kind of what I was saying. But then I was saying, yeah, because you think it's overvalued, you want to buy it at this price. That's why I wouldn't buy it here. I want it at 350 or lower. Does that make me a bad guy? I'll sit here and wait. I'm not interfering with the stock. You guys do what you want to do. If it never reaches 350, I get it. Maybe I don't get an entry. I'll have to rethink my thoughts then at that point. But as of right now,
But in
that's
the
what I.
meantime, all those weeks you were wrong and it never got to 350, you're still making money.
Oh, absolutely. I don't sit here and not make money, Tony. I got money to make.
Right? You're making money off the option premium. Tech We Love asked a good question. He says, like, for example, if you sold a $3 cash secured put and it drops far below your strike price, do you lose more than just the premium? You don't really lose your premium. The premium's always
Yeah, you
yours.
get to keep that.
So if you sold a $3 cash secured put for 25 cents, you're going to, for each contract, you're going to need to have 300 cash, and they'll just hold that as collateral in your account. Your cash doesn't go anywhere until Friday. If it is at $2.99, you're going to pay $300 for the shares, and you kept your $25 premium. So I would say effectively your cost basis was around $275. But in your case, Tech We Love, let's say AMC has some bad news that same week you did that, and the price drops to $2.
Or 250. Oh yeah, $2 good. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let's make it awful. Let's make a worst case scenario. The price
Yeah, it
drops
goes
to
to $2. That's a good point.
$2. You're still on the hook to buy it for $3.
So you're underwater a whole dollar.
You're underwater $1 minus the $25 you got for premium. So your basis is $275. The stock's trading at $2. You got to ask yourself at that point, do I think it's going to come back to $3? Do I think it's going to come back to $4? Do I think the box office over the next 6 months or 12 months is going to be better? Or was the news that dropped this week so bad that I just don't even want it at $2? When you see that happening, if you say, I don't want it, then you could either turn around and sell those shares on Monday, or you could do the opposite transaction on your sold put. You sold it, you could buy it back, but you're still going to lose a little money that way. There's ways out of everything, but the short answer to your question is, yeah, you'll be underwater if the price drops far below your strike price. That's why We spend all weekend carefully discussing in the Discord our thoughts, our TA, and what strike prices we're targeting for the next week. And mediocre, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the time we all end up having slightly different opinions, slightly different strike prices.
Exactly. We don't all make the same
We're
trade.
not carbon copies.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Every one of us has a different outlook. We share info, we talk about it, we debate, and we each have a different outlook, and we each have a different risk tolerance.
Right. And everybody trades for themselves.
And everybody has a different, some people are underwater. Maybe their cost basis is $10. So $3 strike is just not palatable to them because.
Right. So I want to continue on with what Tony was saying. Let's say that you were at $2. The stock price was at $2 and you were at that same situation at 275, right? But you didn't want to cut your loss right there. You wanted to hold it and see what happens, but you didn't think it was going to come back up to $3, right? You could turn around and sell a covered call for $3. You didn't lose anything. You took in more premium, which lowers your dollar cost average again. So you got another quarter for the sake of this argument, right? And it never got back to $3. So you get to keep your shares and you made another 25 cents on your shares. So now your dollar cost average is $2.50 instead of 2.75.
In 2 more weeks, if you do that again for 25 cents, you're back up to $3.
Mm-hmm.
You basically made your money back.
There's a lot. Just because something happens, it's not, oh my God, we're devastated. It's not that way. But understanding what needs to be done in the way things operate and work, you need to understand that, right? Or have people around you who understand, who can help you, guide you with scenarios to help you make better decisions, right? And that's kind of whatever. I'm not telling anybody to trade options because options can be risky, especially if you don't know what you're doing. You can easily make mistakes. And I've done it in the past. I'm not going to discuss what I've done, but it's well known in the Discord because I make it known because I don't want people to make that mistake. There's mistakes can happen, and that's why when options are dangerous, they're not for everybody. But if you're willing to learn, I suggest people learn about them.
The worst mistake I ever made on a fast-moving stock, mediocre? I was in a rush to buy a long call option, and I accidentally hit the sell button. So I sold the call option on a stock that was moving up. And I was like, oh, why is my trade, bleeding red? I was like, oh, shit. I did the wrong transaction. Luckily, I caught it right away. I had to go unwind that trade and put the right one in. But yeah, there's a lot of different mistakes you can make if you don't know what you're doing and you're not paying attention. Even when you know what you're doing,
absolutely,
you can still make dumb mistakes that can cost you a lot of money.
Yep.
That's why we say this is not for everybody. Don't just think you're going to open an options account on Monday and you're going to get rich.
Yeah.
Spend the time to learn what you're doing.
You're going to spend time. There's no doubt about it. You're going to have to invest time to get an understanding. There's no doubt about it.
Yuka says, why the ET theme? It's our homage to Roaring Kitty's last tweet.
Yep. Goodbye, Roaring Kitty. If you're gone, if I don't see you on Monday.
Maybe we will see him on Sunday or Monday. That would be
possible. Maybe it was a good week. Goodbye. Have a good weekend thing. I don't know.
That would be the most bullish scenario.
But his spaceship is right here.
For me.
He's gone.
That would be the most bullish scenario for me, that we get another pop next week if Roaring Kitty comes back. But let's be honest. He was tweeting 15 minutes every day this week, and all the stocks did was fall.
Yeah. It did not
So
look good for him, and I'm not. I don't root that on anybody. Like I felt truly bad for the way the stock fell, but I knew it was going to happen. I mean, it sucks to say that, but what can I do? I can't stop it. There's nothing I can do. Sit there and watch it happen.
Tech, we love representing here. You saw 3 movies in a day? Damn. Civil War, The Fall Guy, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The most I've seen in one on Thursday. Okay. I was going to say, if you saw 3 in one day, that is some freaking commitment. I've seen 2 in a day. And yes, all of them were good movies for sure. I wish more people would go see The Fall Guy. Disappointing to me that it's not doing so well. The others he said were last Friday and last Saturday. Okay. Jay says, Tony, what if the stock moasses to 1,000 and you miss the boat with no shares? Very easy, Jay. I have cash in my account. Takes me 1 second to hit the buy button. Just like I did on AMC. Took me 1 second to buy long calls. Once the freaking stock is moving at a rapid pace like it did this week with AMC and GameStop, I'm less likely to buy shares. I'm more likely to buy long calls because I can risk less money and get a higher return. Tell me one person who got 1,100% gains with shares this week. Nobody,
Tony,
but I did on AMC.
Tony, I just want to say, Elliot.
Guys, you got to get out of this mentality that if whatever you're thinking, I mean, I get it. If what was his question? What if it moasses and you miss the boat? I mean, there's no way I'm going to miss the boat.
That's what people say.
I just buy something. What is the problem? If I'm all in cash, I'm in the best possible scenario.
Because Tony, they think we can't get out of our options contract.
I have every opportunity open to me.
People seem to think that we're locked up, that we can't do anything. Did you know that?
I don't know why they think that. I mean,
I don't understand either. They just don't understand how options work. Yes, my shares are locked up for the week. Yes, but I can buy to close them at any point I choose to.
Or if you have spare cash, you just buy other shares or you buy long call options. I mean,
exactly. There's so many ways to do it. If it moves to a point where I think the stock is going to move, I can easily buy it back. You think I'm going to miss out on thousands of bucks? If it costs me $1,000 to buy my option back, I don't care. I'm going to make $1,000 on top of that.
It's like in 2021 before YouTube, when I was watching Trey and Matt, I had some shares in AMC that I had bought for $7-8, and the stock started going up 10, 12, 15, 20. Did I mortgage my house buying more shares? Absolutely not. It was a risky play in a non-profitable company. What did I do? The same fucking thing I did this week. I bought long call options. And I made probably the most I've ever made in one ticker in a week. It's very easy to hit the buy button. I'm never going to miss out on something unless I just say, I'm choosing not to participate. I chose not to participate in GameStop in 2021. That was an error that I choose not to repeat. But there's no reason if you want to participate that you just can't buy something. Yuka says Tony has the Cuban hat. He won't miss the boat.
Jim Eagle makes a good comment too. That's the other thing people don't realize. You can. There's so many option strategies just because I sold a call option, I could turn around and turn that same option into uh, different types of um, spread positions. Okay, like it doesn't have to be a single leg freaking option, people. If something's moving, I could turn around and do something. There's always something that can be done. So
And the great thing about our Discord group is we have so many people that are experienced options traders. If you don't know what to do, someone can give you some freaking choices. Nobody's going to miss something unless they decide I'm just going to let this one go. And I will tell you, when GameStop was running last week, I day traded the stock. And when we woke up Monday morning and it had skyrocketed, I thought about trading options, but I saw how fast it had moved up and that it was kind of peaking there. And I looked at the IV. How many times a day did we look at the IV on GameStop options mediocre?
a lot. It was at like 600.
About 100 times a day.
Yeah.
It was it had ran up so much in pre-market, and then when the market opened, I was prepared to buy options. I would have.
Yeah,
If
that's the thing.
the IV was stupid high and the price was coming down, and the combination of those two things said to me, this is not a smart move to enter with long call options here. I had already made money on it last week, so I just let it go this week.
So I'd also like to add, Tony, especially with this move, the majority of the moves happened in the after hours, so you couldn't do anything anyways. There's no way, whether you're in options or out of the options, the options market is closed in the after hours, and not only that, with the move that was going on in the after hours, I mean, is it going to hold? That's the other thing, right? Like you're only participating with the people who are in the after hours. That's kind of what scares me. I don't like to do that. Maybe with a few hundred shares or whatever, but I'm not going to throw real money at something in the after hour. Would you?
No, the volume was too low. The volume was too low in after hours for me to have a good, comfy feeling that it was going to hold into regular hours.
It didn't, obviously.
Right.
That's why I couldn't FOMO into that stuff. No way.
Wilner says sell a call and a put spread at the same time. Yeah, we talk about some of the more complex strategies. I don't often do them, but I probably should try some of them. There are people in our group that do multi-leg strategies. Anya says, Inviting Pass says Trey was before his time regarding puts. Was he talking about buying puts or selling cash secured puts? I don't recall. I remember him talking about options and he got a lot of shit.
He wasn't very specific on the conversation from what I remember.
I didn't really watch them, but I remember him get him flack.
Yeah, because I remember having a conversation about his stuff in a live stream. It's probably on my channel if somebody really wanted to go find it. But
I think they were talking about buying puts because somehow they thought that was going to trick the market makers.
Yeah.
If I recall,
I'm not sure they were
correctly.
talking about selling puts or buying puts. It was never actually said, but I talked about it exactly in a live stream. I can't even remember who I was with.
Red Dragon says I bought a couple $20 2026 calls. Am I screwed? I mean, if it doesn't go back up, could it hit $20 by 2026? I have scenarios just based on fundamentals where we could get to $20 on a 11 or $12 billion box office in 2026 just through normal price action and the company being profitable and having free cash flow. But by that point, you're going to be theta burned to the point where those options are worthless. So I guess at this point, you pray for another run up.
That's the thing, right? Like we do a lot. The box office is the most important thing, Tony. We talk about it so much because that is the lifeblood of AMC. And I know people don't want to hear it. Some people don't want to hear it. They want to ignore it like it's not a thing. But that's the truth, right? Because that is where our revenue comes from. And if we have no revenue, we can't pay our debt. If we can't pay our debt, we can't stay open. That's just, it's simple as that in the easy terms.
Tech We Love says if you bought cash secured puts, you're going to sell cash secured puts.
Yeah, we don't buy.
If you sell cash secured puts for a $5 strike and the price goes up to $7, would you have to put more money in? No. You just keep your premium and you don't get any shares.
To be clear, Tech We Love, it's not if we bought, it's if you sell cash secured puts. I want to make that clear because I have this problem with all the time. I tell people the language matters.
He says he meant sell.
Perfect. I just want to make sure for everybody else who's listening, it's not if we bought, it's if we sell cash secured puts.
Yeah, I want you to think of a cash secured put as a bullish strategy where you want to buy the shares, but you only want to buy them if it goes below your strike price. And if it goes below that price, you're willing to buy them at your strike price. If it doesn't go below your strike price, you're not going to buy any shares. You just get to keep the money you made selling the put. And some days, depending on the strike you pick, it's $5 a contract. Some days it's $25. Some days it's $45. There were people making hundreds of dollars per contract this week selling options.
So Tech We Love, I reread your comment, and if you sold a $5 strike, a put, right, in the stock price we're in the 7, it doesn't matter. You just take your premium, and then the next week or whatever strike you did, whatever week you did or whatever, you just when that week ends, you keep your premium, and then you could do it again, sell the $5 strike again. Just wait till you get to it. No big deal if the price goes up.
Yeah, I might be selling 3 or 350 cash secured puts for weeks over the next couple of weeks, waiting to get an entry, and that's fine. I'll just hold on to my cash. I'll generate income, add to my account, and one day I'll get the shares if it drops low enough. And if after enough weeks go by, I see, well, I'm selling these strike prices too low, then I might need to adjust up a little closer. Because ultimately my goal is to get the shares, but you kind of need to read what's going on with the company, what's going on at the box office, what's going on with the chart. There's a lot of things in play that we're analyzing to pick our strikes.
Yeah, pull up Six Sun's comment because he's asking a very good question. And the other person who bought the $20 strike, this can help him as well.
Go ahead. Go ahead and read it. I'm going to grab another refill on my
So it says,
founder.
Tony, if you have an option, a call option, and you sell it can you sell it at any time before expiration date? The answer is yes. You can always sell it. You may sell it for a loss, right? But at least you can exit the position if you don't want it anymore, right? You may not. It may take you a little time to get out, because somebody's got to buy it. Maybe it sells, maybe it doesn't. It depends if there's a buyer or not on the other side. That's the problem, right? How liquid is the option contract and all that stuff? That all comes into play. So I try not to deal with options that don't have a lot of open interest. It has to have open interest. So I'm not sure what, for example, I don't know whose comment the other one was where they bought a $20 call option, right? Like, I'm not sure what the open interest is on that. So, you could try to sell it and maybe there not be a buyer, but depending on how you do it, you might want to set a limit, see where it's trading at. Say it's trading at a dollar, for example. and you could go if you want to get rid of it. You might want to go try and sell for 98 cents because then you're below what they're asking, and maybe it gets filled then. I don't know if it will or not because I'm not looking at that contract. I don't really know, but you can definitely sell your contract even if it's not profitable, as long as there's a buyer on the other side. It's
I'm,
called hot potato, man. Pass it. That's what I say, right, Tony?
that's right. I'm pulling up the $20 2026 calls just to
I
see.
appreciate that.
I want to see the chart. Uh,
It's a learning class now, Tony.
yeah, so they're trading at 65 cents, but they were. Well, it looks like he's. Oh wait, let's go to the daily. Sorry, daily. Holy shit. They were as expensive as $6. They're trading for 65 cents right now.
Yeah, so you can get 65 cents for it. So that's a massive loss, but it can be sold.
I would guess, I'm just guessing, if he bought it in the hype, that he probably paid in the $3 to $4 range for them. But yeah, I mean, if nothing happens, every day that ticks by, these are just gonna bleed out.
Bleed, bleed, bleed. Yeah, if it was me, I would have that thing gone immediately. But it's not mine, so I'm just saying what I would if I was in that position.
Maybe wait and see how, if there's any excitement reignited on Monday morning at least first.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, if there's a chance Roaring Kitty comes back and starts pumping, see what happens real quick. If nothing tends to happen, then cut it. That's what I would do.
Inviting Pass says it appears that Trey was talking about buying puts, so he was just betting on the downside. I mean, it's not even a bad strategy with a stock like AMC if you're expecting, like, well, I really want this company to moon, but it's losing money, and I know they're going to need to raise cash, and they're probably going to need to dilute. Let me protect, i.e., hedge my portfolio by buying puts. That's not a bad strategy, but in a case like that, if I'm hedging, I'd probably be buying a put out, a year or two out. Wouldn't you think, Mediocre?
Yeah, because that's the thing. The way the Greeks work, right? This is why there's a lot involved with options, right? So theta is time decay, and time decay ramps up in the options last 3 months of its life, right? Every option expires. So in the last 3 months of expiration is when theta really, really ramps up.
On a
So
leap.
on a leap option, it's not going to eat your contract that much.
Oh, you're talking about on every. I mean, there's people that are buying puts for the weekly, like, oh, I want to protect my shares this week. But I mean, you could be wiped out by Wednesday
Yeah, exactly.
if
That's
the
kind of what
stock
I'm
just
getting.
trades sideways.
Right, but a leap option will hold its value much longer because it's far away from the 3 months where theta starts to really ramp up. I have a thing in the Discord that I show people that describes theta, and it shows you how it rolls off, and it just
I
dumps off at the end.
I actually have a playlist on my channel for options training that has the theta chart in it, Mediocre, for any of y'all that are beginners and you just want to learn the very basics of call and put options, including what theta is and how that exponential decay of your value works over time. I wish that more people would watch those videos. Those things took me forever to make. And the only reason I don't do more options videos is not enough people watch them, frankly, for the amount of time that it took me to make them.
And it's complicated, and I understand people. There's a lot going on with options to understand, and it's confusing to people, and it's a different language. It truly is a different language. But once you understand the language, piece of cake, right, Tony?
Yep. And you don't have to understand all of it. It's kind of like becoming a toddler.
Yeah, exactly.
You learn the very basics. You do some very basic strategies, very safe. And you build on that knowledge, and through experience and by doing and by experiencing situations, you build on that knowledge, and then you can start learning what is IV, what is theta, what are, spreads and straddles. It gets overwhelming if you try and learn it all in one day. You're just, nobody is going to be able to do that.
No. Not at all.
So I tried to make my video series assuming you know nothing. Look, I have watched every options video that was out there. They're all an hour long, and they try and teach you everything in an hour. And I'm like, if I was a newbie walking up wanting to learn options and I had to watch a 1 hour video where they explained everything to me, I would learn nothing because it's just too much information. So I tried to make my videos like 5 to 9 minutes and just give you, here's your first chunk, master this. Once you have that mastered, then we'll move on to the next topic.
So put up Sycamore Styles video comment. I mean, sorry about that. So yeah, that's what it was about, Tony. I remember the conversation now.
With Trey?
So their thesis was basically a gamma ramp in towards the down to stop it.
Yeah, I remember that now. They thought they were, that's what I thought. Thought they were going to manipulate the market makers by overwhelming them with puts, which would force the price to go up, right?
Yeah, that was what they thought would happen.
And I call bullshit on that.
I don't think they would care either. There's way too much money to be made.
I mean, I just don't.
I'm not trying it.
Look, if there is this weight of puts down there and something happens to the stock, or if there's this weight of calls like there was in GameStop and something happens to get it moving, that weight of options can increase the ramp of the stock price due to options, the market makers or whoever having to hedge. Absolutely. But just the fact that this big chunk, this is the thing that the GameStop YouTubers are talking about that drives me nuts. Oh, guys, look, there's 200,000 options sitting out there for next week. Who fucking cares? It is, if the price doesn't move, all those 200,000 are going to lose their money.
You know what would happen if apes or whoever tried something like that, Tony? They would just stop shorting, and if retail stopped buying the stock to help it fall, they would
if we had loaded up the put side, they'd just stop shorting and make sure none of those make money.
They'd hold the price where it is and buy their shorts back. That's it.
Yeah. They have way too much analytical capability for us to outsmart them. You need some black swan type event to, like what happened with GameStop, Roaring Kitty. The options chain was loaded and ready, and Roaring Kitty came in. And once the price started moving because of Kitty, then it gets exciting. You just start busting through all of these levels as the hedging takes place. But the fact that they're sitting up there, if nothing makes a stock move, it is, I don't care if there's 1 million of them up there. They'll all expire worthless. Tech We Love says, please pull up my last comment. He says, do cash secured puts give more premium if the price is going up? fast or
No,
going down fast?
going down.
My strategy, Tech We Love, is like I think the reason I got so much premium on the $3 puts that I sold to get in my shares 2 weeks ago or a week ago, whenever it was, I sold a $3 put when the price was like at $2.95. You might say, what? Why would you sell a $3 put if the price was already under $3? Because
Because it got more than a
I got
nickel.
more premium. I got more premium, and I didn't think it was going to stay at 295 or 291 for long, maybe a day, maybe two. So I took a little bit of a gamble. But yeah, the lower it goes to the strike price you're targeting, the more premium you're going to get. And I would like to repeat that strategy. If I am targeting getting in at $3 and it pops down to 290 for a second, that's when I want to sell that put. Because it's even fatter premium. And if the price pops back up later that day or the next day, well, then at the very least, I'm going to get to keep a very nice option premium.
What's up, Grandpa Barney? Good to see you.
Grandpa Barney in the house. Crazy Carl in the house too. He says, do you think if Roaring Kitty waited till later in the week to post, it would have made a difference? He got everybody excited on that Sunday, kicked everything off overnight trading into pre-market on Monday. And then he tweeted nonstop for a week and the price just fell. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what advantage waiting later in the week would have made.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what his goal was either. Like, what was the whole goal? That was part of the problem I was trying to figure out. At least if I had known something, I could have maybe reacted in a way that, you know.
I think since GameStop didn't have their paperwork ready to dilute and AMC did, then clearly Adam Arno paid Roaring Kitty to start a meme stock run up. Don't you think?
That's possible, yeah. One of those backdoor popcorn deals, you know what I mean?
Lifetime supply of popcorn if you just make the meme stocks run. We got some shares to dilute, and we got a debt for equity swap we need to get done, Keith. Lifetime supply, and we'll make you a diamond. What do they call we'll make you a diamond A-list member for life.
Yeah, buddy.
Mediocre, do you think anyone's getting paid to pump a meme stock?
Do I think anyone is getting paid to pump a meme stock? I don't think anybody's getting paid to pump a meme stock. I think that YouTubers get paid by places like Moo Moo and shit like that, which we all see them. Oh, Moo this, Moo Moo, whatever. I didn't even mean
make
to
some
say that.
money and check out my Moo Moo link.
But as far as getting paid by who's paying them, who do these people think is paying them?
You mean you wouldn't pay someone for 1,000 views?
No. That's why I only have a few hundred followers, Tony. I don't give a shit. I don't
That's
care.
what cracks me up. Tony's getting paid for what? 1,000 views? Come on. And if someone is getting paid, they better damn well be disclosing it or you're violating the law. So I do wonder what the heck is going on with all these big influencers, though, like Andrew Tate, Roaring Kitty, Zach Morris, all getting on board at the same time, unless they're just all really sharp and they saw the options chain and they conveniently loaded up at a low price and knew that if they could bring millions of people in this, they could unload into the run up.
How come you didn't say Dave?
Portnoy? That guy's always a day late and $1 short.
Oh man.
He's funny. Portnoy's funny. He's kind of like the ape father of social media stars. When Portnoy's buying in, you better be out already.
Oh man.
We love you, Richie. We're just kidding.
I laughed. I seen Portnoy's video though, and I laughed. His TikTok there when he was trying to get in.
He is like the definition of an emotional trader with not very good patience skills. Like, oh, this thing's been running for a day. Let me throw 500K at it. Oh, what are you freaking doing?
Yeah.
If anything, throw 25K at some call options, but 500K at the top? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you got that kind of money, throw 25,000 at some call options, and if it moons, you're gonna be fine. But if it breaks down, all you lost was 25K.
Tech We Love says inverse Kramer, but since that was said, I want to say this. Like thinking back to trades, right? My all-time favorite videos were the Crim Jamer videos.
Oh yeah, those are pretty well done.
My favorite. At least come back and make them trade, please.
I heard that he might have gotten in trouble, but I don't know how you can get in trouble doing a parody like that.
It was absolutely hilarious.
Those were good.
Favorite.
Sycamore style. Go ahead, mediocre.
I was going to say, I had a conversation with Trey about those videos, and I asked him to make them. This was probably a year ago now or more. I can't remember when
You're breaking up.
He never did.
Sycamore style says you could still get paid without disclosing it. Why couldn't someone drip feed YouTube or other social media donations? It looks like random donations. I mean, I see people getting accused of that all the time. They call Grandpa Barney Adam Aaron and saying he's paying people with super chats. I mean, I guess that's possible, but I don't know. I don't know if the people saying that know, like right off the top, YouTube's taken 40% of super chat. So it's not the most effective way to pay someone.
All I got to say is Grandpa Barney never super chatted me.
he did throw me a couple super chats a couple years ago.
You know why he never super chatted me? Do you know why? Because I'm not fucking monetized.
Okay. Yeah, we need to get mediocre traders some go over and give him some subs, guys, when we're done here. Let's get him over 1,000 subscribers.
I don't care. It's what it is.
Thoughts on Matt Kors, Red Dragon? This week and lately with Matt Kors over the last year, his take on things is really suspect to me. And I don't know if he's part of some social media group where they're given talking points, or if he's just antagonizing people for interaction, because interaction gets views. But when I saw him come out and say Adam Aaron needs to be fired for raising money into a stock run up, and then I see Charlie Zip Trader saying the same thing, and then I see Meet Kevin saying the same thing. These guys aren't stupid. I don't think. I think they understand a balance sheet. I think they understand debt looming in less than 18 months. I think they understand limited box office. Like, what the heck do they want these companies to do? Why should any fucking CFO or CEO, including, as you saw today, Ryan Cohen, they're going to do this every time. Why would someone get fired for doing their job? So Matt's take on this, I find the motivations behind it very suspect. I don't know why he's doing it. I've commented to Charlie Zip Trader several times with very well thought out, reasoned responses to his gripes. The same thing. Adam Ayer needs to be in jail. Adam Ayer needs to be fired. There's no reason they should be raising money. What the hell? Like, you're going to tell me there's no reason they should be raising money? Either you're an idiot or you're just purposely trying to drum up some sort of social media engagement. He won't respond. Charlie won't respond to my tweets. I don't know why nobody wants to come on and debate me about finance.
Oh God. Grandpa Barney's too funny, Tony. I'm sorry. He sent me a text message.
What did he say? What did he say?
I can't.
Not enough people like you.
That's probably true.
You're way more liked than I am, mediocre. Apparently, me and Corex, we're evil, but you and Mike V seem like normal people.
Mike V. I wish he came on tonight, dude.
I invited Mike and I invited Corex tonight.
I wish they both came on.
Correct. Mike we have on because he's a Super Bowl for AMC, and he knows the numbers really good, which I appreciate. I'm kind of a middle of the road guy. Mediocre is just a trader, and he don't care about no stock as long as he can make money. And we bring Corax on because he's kind of like the bearish guy. You guys have y'all heard of Fox News?
No.
Anybody heard of Fox News? What's their slogan? Fair and balanced.
Yeah.
When we have Corax on, it's to bring you guys a balanced discussion. I see these mouth breathers making videos and tweets that, first of all, they say Corax is an Adam Ayer lover, which is hilarious because he'll short the bitch. He'll short AMC or GameStop in a heartbeat. He don't care. He doesn't love Adam Ayer. I bring him on because he hates social media influencers like me. And I bring him on for balance. I think it's important for you guys to see grown-ups have real discussion and maybe not agree on things. And you can still do it in a respectful way. I hope, it's my wish that the mouth breathers, not breeder, breathers would see that, we're attempting to have an adult discussion and debate on different tickers, and we're able to do it without insulting each other, acting like 5-year-olds, doxing people, all the bullshit that those guys do. That's why Corex comes on. I think it's good for everybody to have open discussion.
That's right. I don't agree with Mike V on some stuff, but he opened my eyes to look into some stuff. I'll tell you that right now, and some other things I'm going to look into. He's very bullish, and I like AMC. Like, I think AMC is, in my opinion, a good play. That's why I'm in it, right? That's why I like to play it. I want to catch it going up, but if it gets overvalued, don't hate me because I'm going to make money on it, right? I'm not just going to hold this thing and let my account go red. That's not how I operate. I did that shit for 3 years. I ain't doing it no more.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, everybody is learning over the last 3 years how to change your strategy to not lose money, and maybe start learning about some new ways to make money, even in the same ticker. Like I said at the beginning of this live stream, we have a lot of people who have, by taking charge of their trading, have, even in just staying in AMC, have dramatically improved their cost basis, or even got back to even, or got to the position where they can make money on it now. T. Edwards says, miss the start of the show. What is a good entry to rebuy and go long? I'm looking at $3. Other people in our Discord are not as, they have higher price targets than me, 350, 4. There's a variety of opinions. We're just going to have to see next week. But I'm pretty well known for being stubborn and making sure I get the the absolute lowest price. I don't know if I'll get $3, but that's kind of where I see it going. GameStop back down to between 10 and 17. AMC back down to 3 to 4. A lot changes now as both companies are raising cash, and that improves their balance sheets. That may change my price targets.
We won't know until we bottom out, though. That's the
Yeah,
whole.
we won't know until we get there. I'm just telling you, as of right now, that's what I'm looking at. Don't want anyone to come back and say, ha ha, GameStop never got back to 10. AMC never got back to 3. I don't know where it's going. We'll know when we get there, but I'm going to wait for as close to the bottom as I can get. And I don't think we're close to it on either stock right now. That's just my opinion. And there are people in my own trading group in our Discord, even mediocre, don't agree with me, and that's fine. Red Dragon says, you and stock retail are the only influencers I watch. Everyone else is either FUD or doesn't know what they're talking about. There are a lot of people who don't know what they're talking about. That is false show. I have watched some of stock retail's videos. I appreciate the work that he does on forecasting. He does very similar work to what I do with the spreadsheets. And I think I don't ever talk to him. I'm not sure that he likes me that much. I've never talked to him, but I get the feeling like because I don't push all the same talking points that he does, maybe he doesn't like me. He came on my channel one time. Actually, I have talked to him one time. But he's very suspect of people. I've seen him on Twitter. Like, he doesn't trust anybody, and I don't blame him. But I appreciate his videos for the financial forecasting. It's usually pretty spot on, and he talks about a lot of other topics. His other thesis and theories that are important to him. I don't really cover that stuff on my channel, so I'm just not going to comment on that.
I love your chat, Tony. Put up on my professionals comment.
I'm a professional. This one?
Yeah, I love it. I love comedy, you guys. That shit makes me laugh. He said he wasn't coming back, but I like it.
Red Dragon says, I'd love to see you on a live with each other. I feel like for the most part, Red Dragon, we'd just be repeating to you guys the same info. Have you ever watched him, Mediocre? Stock Retail?
No.
I feel like our financial analysis and our spreadsheet. I mean, it's not hard to make a spreadsheet. We are so lucky with AMC. Like I finally created one for GameStop. This spreadsheet here, which is this took me days to make. Let me just unhide all this stuff.
Tony, the only YouTuber I watch, and I'll tell you, I'm just going to tell you, and I love comedy. This is why I'm going to tell you. It's because I love comedy. So the only one that I watch is CSI.
This is my GameStop. Oh, wait, y'all can't see this. I have a GameStop prediction model because I'll tell you why I created this. Because the GameStop pumpers were putting out such ridiculous forecasts. I call them the retail analysts. Their forecasts were not grounded in any reality. And I found the price targets they were giving people to encourage them to buy horribly ridiculous. So I said, I can't leave the kids. I can't leave the family to the whims of these pumpers out there in GameStop YouTube land. Let me put in a weekend. I spent a weekend. In fact, I live streamed it in my Discord for hours and hours creating this spreadsheet, looking up all the old data, creating all the formulas for forecasting and modeling. And it's pretty accurate. This is the type of thing that we do, you know, for a stock where it's really, really important to model something. But the reason I bring up the GameStop one is not to brag about this one, but to say this is very difficult. This forecasting GameStop is difficult. Why? Because we don't know what their sales are going to be. Look at the surprise we got today, $890 million. Even the professional analysts were expecting 1.05 billion. And I'm sure the GameStop YouTubers were saying 1.2, I would guess. There's no way of knowing what GameStop numbers are till they tell you. So you probably shouldn't even be pumping people with misinformation because you're just guessing and you've been wrong every quarter. So you should stop and just comment on the results when they come out would be my take. But the point is with AMC, we're so lucky that we
Have box office
get
numbers.
box office. We get box office. So, and we can look at past results and create formulas based on normal margins. Once I know the box office for a quarter, I can get within pennies of accuracy on an AMC forecast. That's what makes this such a great play to trade, because you can be ahead of everybody else. All the other retail traders can't get ahead of the pros. They're as good as me or better with their models, but you can get ahead of everybody else on knowing what's coming to the good side or the bad side. And so I just want to say, I have a spreadsheet for AMC. Stock Retail has one. I'm sure it's very similar to mine. And I appreciate people that take the time to do that. And the fact that Mike V has a spreadsheet too, I think. And we all almost always come up with the same numbers. So that lets us know that we're living in a world of reality when we can forecast the numbers and we're all coming up with the same numbers. And we're usually very, very close. And that is the beautiful thing about AMC. The numbers might not always be pretty, but that's not AMC's fault. That's the box office. And we'll get there. What does Stock Retail say? We will win. We will win.
Oh,
yeah.
read Huck's dad's comment. You
No.
don't have to put it on the screen.
No, I'm not going to read. I'm reading it. I'm not going to put it
Okay, that's all I want to know.
I try and be nice to people on this channel, even though they trash me all the time.
I know, that's funny though. I didn't say it.
You know what? I will trash Al from Boston today, though, because it was hilarious this morning. As soon as GameStop put out their dilution announcement, he like snorted a couple lines of Coke and got on. He's like, guys, so bullish. Do you know what this means, guys? Meet me behind the monument, quick. I'm about to blow a load. So bullish, this dilution. I'm sure last week he was like, Adam Aaron needs to go to jail. Look at this dilution. 160 million? Jail or the guillotine. Ryan Cohen, $1 billion. Bullish, guys. I couldn't even wait to get this video out to you. By the way, $50 a month, you can get private talks with Al. Hit the join button. Hit that join button or I'm going to go away. I'm going to go away. You'll never see me again.
Oh, man. I don't even watch his stuff, dude.
I made it in about the first 15 seconds of his video. I was like, well, I know where this is going, and this guy's a dipshit. Ryan Cohen diluting is bullish, but for a year, anytime AMC, which clearly needs to raise money, raised money, it's crime. It's helping the shorts. Did Ryan Cohen help the shorts, Al? Did you talk about that? Did you talk about that? Did you talk about that? Did Ryan Cohen help the shorts? Did you talk about that? No, I bet you didn't. I didn't watch your video, but I bet you didn't.
That's funny, Tony. Adam
Jeff,
Aaron did, right?
of course, Adam does everything only to help the shorts, mediocre. But Ryan Cohen does it because he loves you. He's trying to set the company up for future success. Adam couldn't possibly be doing that because, AMC's controlled by private equity. I heard once 20 years ago that Apollo owns some AMC stock. Therefore, I'm going to connect some dots. And yeah, and did you know Adam Aaron knows Leon Black? Leon Black knows Jeffrey Epstein. It's all connected, mediocre. Can't you see it? No, the government's letting Adam get away with all of this.
Oh man,
It's
that's
makes
funny
for some
shit.
good comedy, these stories these guys come up with. I tell you what.
Oh god. Did you see what's
Woo!
there, Tony? Did you see it?
What?
It says Vafangulo.
Vafagulo. How do you spell that?
Vaffanculo.
You know what I tell mediocre when he gets really mad at someone? I say, mediocre, take your fingernails, put them under your chin. Now just swipe them forward. That's how we do it.
Same thing, Tony.
Vafagulo.
I love it.
Sycamore Style has a good question, mediocre. What do you use to decide the bottom of the stock? Like, where's it going to bottom out?
That's a good question. I use a lot of technical analysis. I use some support and resistance levels. Mostly, I use price action itself. Right, like a stock. What'll happen is it'll come down to a level, and it'll bounce off that level, and then it'll try to come back to that level, and bounce off that level. If it breaks that level, it's going to continue to go on down till it hits another level. But usually, it'll maintain that area, and it trades in a range, right? Especially with AMC. AMC is range bound a lot. Would you agree, Tony?
Yep.
So when it gets range bound and I can see that range, it's easy for me. I love it.
I for myself, I start one step prior to that, and mediocre probably echo what I'm saying is correct. I hope, but I start by looking at what the analysts are predicting and why.
Oh yeah.
And then
Like
I read the filings and I look at the fundamentals and the financials and okay, does heading towards that price make sense to me? I don't just say this analyst is clearly trying to bankrupt the company. I try and look at their numbers and say, does that make sense? And I model it out. If it makes sense, okay, then how far away are we from that price this week? Are we $8 away or are we 50 cents away? Once we start narrowing in, so I might have different price targets for each week, but when we start getting down to a point where the price is very close to what the analysts are saying, then I go more into, all right, now we're just on TA. We're close to fair value unless some news happens. So now then I go more into mediocre's mode of let's get the best possible entry based on the TA for that week.
No, you're right too, Tony. Like it has a lot to do with what analysts think. For example, like Citigroup put out that price target this week, right? But if you were paying attention, you knew that price target came out after the fact that he completed the at the money offering, right? And after that analyst put out their price target, what happened? Adam Aaron had an offering with
The debt for equity.
debt for equity offering that wasn't factored into that analyst report, right? So where they went from 320 to $3.10, but that was before this other thing and before the bonds prices came back up a little bit. So, we know it's somewhere down there. and not that Citigroup is 100% correct every time, but that's a range that we're looking at, right?
Yeah, and we're never, none of us are ever perfect at getting the bottom. I mean, every week someone gets lucky, but most of us don't. We're trying to get it in a range. Like I would say I'm happy to buy it between 290 and 350, but I'd prefer 290. Mediocre would be just like, fuck it. I just want it under 350 because I know I'm going to be fine.
Exactly.
Everybody has their slightly different, level of what they're looking to get. And none of us are exactly the same, but we're generally within a band of what we're targeting. So I can't tell you, I can tell you, I'm looking at like 290 to 350, but I don't know if we'll get down there, and I don't know how fast. So I'm just going to play it by ear, just like I'm going to play GameStop by ear over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And if it doesn't go down that fast, then maybe I sell a $4 strike. Maybe next week after that, I sell a 350, then a 3. We'll just see.
So Tech We Love says, and he's paying attention, or she, I'm not sure, but I'll just say it says Max Payne was 450 this Friday, which it was. So they bought near that range, right? Okay. So next week, I already looked at it. It's saying right now that Max Payne is $5. Does it mean it's going to stay $5? No, it
I
doesn't
would
mean
go ahead.
anything.
I
I
would
don't.
say mediocre. If AMC's trading at 450 and I really want it at $3, and we don't know what it's going to do next week, like maybe it's not going to drop below 4. I might next week say, all right, well, I don't think it's going to hit 350. It might not get down to 3 next week, but I'll sell a 350 because I think I can get away with just keeping the premium on that next week. Probably won't drop below 350. And then the next week after that, if that worked, if I just got to collect the premium, but it's still trending down, maybe the next week I sell the $3.
Yeah, you walk it down.
Right.
Yeah, we do that a lot. That's a good idea. And Tech We Love, we check Max Payne every day as well. So I checked today for next week just to see, and it was at $5. But I'm like, that's going to change. There's no way that's going to stick. But we'll see what happens Monday.
Yep. 6M says, what are we drinking tonight? This is a not sponsored. Shout out to Lou. Founders Brewing. I guess it's a coffee graham cracker porter. My wife bought it.
Really?
My wife bought it. I have had this Founders Porter before. It says silky black with a creamy tan head. Of course, I'm drinking it out of the bottle, not a glass. Aromas of roasted coffee and dark chocolate, complemented by low bitterness and a medium body. The nose, I should get my freaking Pilsner glass out. The nose is sweet with strong chocolate and caramel malt presence. It's pretty damn good beer. I said, why do you buy it? She said, because it's 6.5 ABV.
I'm going to try it. You have to send me that.
Founders is the brand. They have a lot of great beer. Where is this made at? Brewed in where? Brewed in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Who knew?
I did not know.
Matt, yes, Tech We Love. It is just an educated guess. And again, we're trying to just get in a range. We're not always going to get it perfect. And we don't really care if we get it perfect or not. As long as we get it in the range that we feel is comfortable, close to the bottom.
It's all about that premium, baby.
Matt says, do we know the group that pumped Faraday to 3,000%? Was that what was that freaking ticker? FFEI. I heard about that one. I wasn't watching it. What is the ticker? FFIE? Yeah, FFIE. Let's put up the chart on that one, mediocre. Did you hear about this ticker?
I didn't.
Wait, we don't want.
I'm learning about it right now, Tony. I've been busy all week.
I saw people talking about it on Twitter. I have my hands full. And I have heard of this ticker before. I think it pumped a long time ago. It's been in the gutter.
It's down there.
Yeah, it went from, they've had a bunch of reverse splits, but it went up 2x here. It went up 609 to, it went up 3x in 2022. And now it went from 3 pennies, mediocre, to $3.89. Unfucking believable. I heard about it. I don't know the story.
I don't know nothing about it.
But the float, what's the float? 42 million. 37 million free float. It's easy to do on a penny stock. I'll dig into that one this weekend. I love these fascinating stories like this. I don't even know why. Certainly don't know who. What a beautiful play if you made money on it. 1, 2, 3, 3.5 day run. That's a good one for a penny stock.
Yeah, it is. That's solid.
Dan says, I watched it drop from $4 down to $1 today. We always say it's kind of like stairs up and a escalator down, or an elevator down. Sorry.
Yep.
Six Sun says, what is your opinion on Houston Wade? Mediocre. He wants to know your opinion on Houston Wade.
I don't really know him. I know he's a YouTuber or something like that. I don't really know him. Never really watched him. I don't really have a. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Moving on. Let's see. Keith says, do you feel markets do good during election years? Yeah, I mean, often they do. What I'm going to be looking at as we get closer to the election. I haven't had a lot of free time to think about this, and we're already in May. But I try and think about who is going to win and what companies are most likely to benefit from that over the following 18 months, regardless of politics. Like when Biden was running, and I knew that what's his name over at Facebook was throwing so much money at Biden's campaign. What's his name?
Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zuckerberg. I was like, you got to buy Facebook. And it took a while after the election, but Facebook fucking ran after that. So yeah, I'll be thinking about that. I need to just take a week off and go to my cabin in the woods, mediocre, and think about who is going to benefit when Trump wins.
Yeah. So I'm just going to answer Sycamore Styles real quick. So I'm just going to read Sycamore's comment real quick. Sycamore Styles says, have any of you lost your shares to selling calls? What's the ratio? I don't know what the ratio is, to be honest with you, but most of us who sell our calls if we lose our shares, it doesn't matter. We felt comfortable selling them at that price, knowing that it was a possibility that we would lose them, right? But in a move like what happened, you can still get out of your position. Anybody who tells you that we're locked in our position doesn't know what they're talking about.
What we always say on a potential squeeze play like AMC or GameStop, if you're selling covered calls, you're going to be wrong 1 week out of 52. There's going to be 1 week where you lose your shares due to
It doesn't
some,
matter.
but we don't care because there's 51 other weeks where we made money. And if it starts running, we have other ways to enjoy the run. Buy more shares, buy long calls. It's not a big deal.
The amount of money that you're making in this strategy is ridiculous. I'll just say that.
I will tell you on other just normal stocks that I buy, I try and sell covered calls on them. And generally they're trading in more stable ranges. So I'll say I bought this stock for $15 and I'd be happy selling it if it runs up 25%. So I'll just sell calls about 25% over the current price and just keep on doing that. And sometimes I lose the shares and it's not a big deal because I made the premium for however many weeks or months. And then I got out of the stock with a 25% gain on top of that.
How could you be upset?
I had already said I was going to sell the stock if it ran to that price anyway. So that's the whole reason I picked my strike price.
That's the thing. There's a lot of strategy involved in it. It's not just willy nilly, right? Like nobody's just. I'm just going to sell this strike, just as whatever. It doesn't happen that way. If you're underwater, you're not gonna sell it right at the money because right at the money is a chance you're going to get smoked. And then what do? You agreed to sell your whole position or whatever you sold in contracts at that price, whether it's underwater or not. So then you got to turn around and dig your way out of that. So there's ways to sell where the chance it's not going to hit, and if it does, you take that chance, you deal with the consequence after. It's not a big deal.
Six Sun says, Tony, are you still trading crypto? I have been avoiding crypto since we had the crypto cowboy on here.
How's he doing?
I don't know. I haven't asked him how's crypto trading's going. I'll call him this weekend, Mediocre. Maybe we'll get him back on. But it's been all over the map. Look at this. When did we have him on? About a month ago?
It was a while ago. I don't remember exactly.
It was right before the halving. I mean, Bitcoin's taking a roller coaster ride. I don't really feel bad about missing any of that. But would I have preferred to maybe dabble in it? 57? Yeah. No, I'm not trading a lot of crypto right now. I mean, these guys that talk to me every day can tell you I'm busy 15 hours a day. I need to carve out more of my time to focus on crypto. And when I do, there'll be videos on it. Michael says, did AMC raise any cash while shares were up? They, as you know, they had that, this keeps on mediocre. It keeps on putting you down there in the small box. Nobody's going to put mediocre in a corner. What was the question?
I forgot, but what the heck were you talking about?
What was I just talking about?
I don't know. You sidetracked me.
It was going to be a very insightful and thought-provoking comment.
Whose question was it?
I don't know. I was going off on a riff on something. I don't think it was crypto related. I already forgot. I gotta wait 15 seconds for somebody to remind me in the chat due to the chat delay. Let's see who is paying attention.
Yeah, we'll find out because I wasn't.
Were we talking? Was I going to talk
I was
about
chuckling
options?
at you. You saying nobody puts mediocre in their corner. I was thinking of something funny to say.
Oh, it was the did AMC make any money?
Oh yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's what we,
they had the prospectus open since end of March. We knew that by May 8th they had sold 38 million shares for about 328 a share. And then on around May 12th or so, I feel like it was around May 12th. Let me just pull up the dates. Not much longer after that, we got the update that they were done with the dilution, and they had sold them on an average of like 345, which May 14th was the day. Yeah, May 14th, 345, which means the second batch of 35 million shares they sold for $3.63 into the run up over the last week. Now, did they time the top perfectly? No.
no.
Would
But
we have liked to see them time the top perfectly? Absolutely. But you're dealing with business managers, not short squeeze,
right.
not short squeeze believers.
And I think we did good getting 363, don't you?
I mean, I always would prefer that they got more mediocre, as would
Absolutely, but
anybody.
when
But
you don't know where it's going,
they are not thinking like us. I can guarantee you that. They're going to always take the easy layup. If it had jumped to $20, maybe they, very fast, maybe they could have sold more, but at a higher price. But they just, they're like, hey, it's already 40 cents higher than what we've been selling it for the last month and a half. Finish it off into this volume. And then right after that, they signed the next day the debt for equity swap at $7.73, I think it was. So they did capture a higher price the next day.
yeah, they did good.
So, I mean, I think all in all, could you complain about it? Yeah, there's always going to be the mouth breathers that complain about everything. But overall, I think they did a reasonable job. Would I have preferred less shares for a higher price? Of course.
He's got to take what he can get right now, though. That's the thing.
Just remember, I mean, they're not trying to sell it for the lowest possible price, but they're also not thinking like us. If you think that they're thinking, let's make this thing short squeeze so everybody can win, they're just not. They want to return to profitability and get the shorts out of their stock, but they could give two shits about a short squeeze. All right, mediocre. It's about 10 o'clock my time, about 11 o'clock your time. I think we should wrap this up because we've all had a long week.
No, thank you. I'm tired.
I know.
I am beat up.
You have any closing thoughts for the family?
I do. Just, patience. Be patient with your trades. Think about what you want to do. Think about your entries and exits. And, that's it. Put more time into doing some of your own DD and trying to learn to understand kind of the stuff we're talking about. At the very least, do it for yourself. Don't do it for me. Don't take my word for it. That's all I really got to say about it.
I want to wrap up talking about GameStop since that's what we had on the thumbnail. And I'm going to say this for GameStop and AMC. Both of these run-ups had nothing to do with the market finally realizing the fundamental value of these stocks. The fundamental values, the price targets for both stocks essentially are unchanged. They're going to return back down to those levels. I can't tell you how fast. Can't tell you how long it's going to take. Could be next week. It could be a month. Both companies took the opportunity of a gift handed to them of an unexpected run up to raise money which was the smart thing to do, which will bump up the price targets of the stocks and improve both of their, longevity. These were the smart business moves. And I want you guys to learn to expect those. So anyone, trying to throw Ryan Cohen under a bus or Sean Goodman under a bus, I think they just don't really understand business or finance or the challenges that either of these companies have. You should not be mad at GME or AMC for doing what any smart executive in those offices should be doing. That's what they're paid to do, to identify these opportunities and capitalize on them.
I got a question before you stop, though. Why did you say Sean Goodman and not Adam Aaron, Tony?
Because Sean Goodman's the CFO, and I can't remember GameStop's chief financial person, but Sean Goodman's the one making the calls, not Adam Aaron.
Absolutely.
Adam gets all the hate, but Sean's the one making these calls. That's his job.
Absolutely.
And I would have said the GameStop person's name, but I can't remember it. These stocks did not run up.
To make that clear,
Yeah. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Stocks did not run up because of financials or fundamentals, so they will come back down. Maybe not as low as they were because both companies took proactive steps to improve their situation, as they should. And I can't tell you what's going to happen next week. If it's going to go up or down, I just don't know. I hope it goes up if you need it to go up. If they come down, I'm going to be looking for buying opportunities. If they still have volatility, I'll be looking for trading opportunities. And I think I would just say to all of the people that were pumping these stocks over the last 2 weeks, urging people not to sell, you're doing a disservice to everybody on YouTube. You're doing a disservice to people. Instead of encouraging them to build their portfolio, build their wealth, build and protect their capital, these stocks are going to come back down. They could have taken some gains, let it come back down, which it's going to anyways, and then bought more shares if they love the company. But you duped them into doing the wrong thing. And I hope you think about that over the weekend. By you, I mean all of you on social media that lied to people for the last week or two that these stocks were running based on financials or Wall Street finally realizing their value. It's utter bullshit. So disappointed in some of y'all in the influencer land. For you guys, the traders, I'm happy for all of you that booked some gains. And I know that if you love these stocks, you'll do the right thing and wait for them to come back down. And then you can rebuy, or you can rebuy more, or you can buy some blue chips with that money and throw a little bit back in these companies. Every time I get ahead, I throw a little more of my AMC money into blue chips. And then I redeploy the remaining cash back in this play. Be smart. That's the bottom line. Be careful who you're listening to. Judge them on their track record. How accurate have they been? Are you ahead on your portfolio, or are you falling behind? That's what I want to leave you with. Thank you, one and all. We will be back with more over this weekend. I'm going to try and get Massalorian in here, and I will check into FFIE. I might need just a day to decompress tomorrow and spend some time with the wife. If she's off, I don't even know if she's off work tomorrow. We'll find out. Oh, by the way, anybody who cares about our dog, his test came back mediocre. I don't know if I told you this.
No, we've been busy. I'm sorry. I'm chuckling about
His test came back. He was negative on Cushing's disease, negative on viral infection. So that all that money we spent, $6,000 in 24-hour care and getting all these specialized tests done, came back with no answers other than he's fucked. He's got failing kidneys, and there's really nothing we can do. Stage 4 liver failure, just old age, So he's comfortable. He's ambulatory. He can walk around. He's eating, but his He's not perfect. He's not in pain, but he's not perfect. And we're going to try and manage it with diet as long as he's happy and, not in obvious pain. Then, the doctor said just feed him a kidney diet and try and manage it. All his blood tests, the values of his markers are just off the charts bad. Some of them, they can't even give us a reading. That's how bad it is. So he probably only has weeks, days, months. I don't know. Not going to be with us for a long time, but it's not easy. But at least for my wife, it's her dog. She's had him since he was a puppy. At least he's here with us, and he's
not there.
He's not in a hospital in a cage, getting poked on, and he's he's sleeping down here by me. But she's happy that he's here, and he's happy that he's here. So, well, I just told her, look, she's crying. She's upset. I can't do anything. I was like, sometimes you can't do anything except make their last days, however many days we get. It's a blessing, and we'll make them the best days that he's had. We'll make it the best we can.
Yeah, since we're on that subject too, I'm sorry to hear about your dog, but I also want to let Rolf know, like, we're thinking of you as well, buddy. We know you're going through a tough time.
Thoughts and prayers out to Rolf and his family too. Absolutely.
Yeah. So. What else?
Tech We Love says most vet medicine is a scam.
I don't know.
Some of it is. All medicine is a scam in some sense, even human medicine. But at any rate, I'm going to call it a night, guys. Mediocre, thank you for your time. Johnny Massalorian, if you're watching this on replay, we hope to see you later this weekend and get the whole gang back together and hear, all of your journeys and adventures. Catch us up on that. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you around. And for members of the channel, I will be around in Discord, but I might need at least, half a day or a day of, don't be surprised if I'm take a little bit of decompressed time after this last 2 weeks. It's just been like non-freaking stop, 4 a.m. to midnight every day. I'm kind of worn out. We love you. Have a good one. Make the most of your weekend. Go see a movie. And if you're a gamer, go buy something at GameStop.
Have a good weekend.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move